It is a fast-acting viral strain that infects the host immediately, and upon getting sick, the infected will become racked with coughs, sweat profusely, and start to get the shivers and chills.
There he is, the legend. The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. You can't literally run a promotion just for the AEW, what do they call them, sickos?
Thank you very much, TikTok and AEW. See you tonight.
Tony Khan started telling people there's no such thing as long-term booking anymore. It's week to week.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
Because we have just secured the bag.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It was just sort of happened naturally. But it was never something I intended. It was just something that happened because the wrestlers asked me to do things in matches, and I do them.
If you run a promotion just for the sickos, you're going to do 400,000 viewers eventually.
Effing melts.
You know that SmackDown actually went over and everything?
Yeah.
You know,
What's the point?
the point of SmackDown.
What are you getting at here?
That the DVRs didn't pick it up.
Did they not pick it up?
Mine didn't.
Let's get into everybody's favorite moment, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week.
What would you like to listen to in your ears?
I'd like to hear the flute.
Well, if you'd like to flaunt your flute, then we can find you a flautist.
Because we have just secured the bag.
It doesn't help me.
Okay, so complain, but
I will complain.
Let me have my misery!
And when I heard that, I was like, what?
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom.
You got to run a promotion for everybody. The sickos can be the ones that buy tickets first and spend the most money on the merchandise.
Because we have just secured the bag.
But, like, you got to promote for everybody. Then you'll have a lot of viewers.
I think we proved a lot of so-called experts. We made them look like idiots. We're not going anywhere. Tony Khan's not going anywhere.
You'll also be there on TNT. You'll be in 2 places at once. You'll be all like my favorite movie. Time God. This is so great, Pittsburgh.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It sort of happened naturally.
the best guy is Tony Khan.
To keep themselves safe.
Can you give me a beat? Subliminal, lyrical, rap megastar, cynical. Here's Johnny Cornette Lamar, Jungle Jack, son of a TV star. Who the fuck do you think you are? I'm hearing those jungle drums. Used to hang around with chimpanzees. What is his gimmick? He's a homeless bum, poo flinging, swinging in the trees. He's going to sit in one of those little kid seats. Jungle Jack wanted to use broken glass, real glass. The medical staff said, we don't think you ought to do that. This is where this fucking clown's head's at. Lil Jack got his panties in a bunch, so it was brought to CM Punk. He said, we don't do that on Saturday night. They're going to Wembley. He grabbed him by the goozle pipe. Real glass. You, dick lick. He did not punch a person. He choked one little nitwit. Curly-headed, entitled little prick. What'd you think he was going to do, dipshit? Ride me a river. Mine for wrestling of a slug in a sewer. You're not a TV star. You're tired. What the fuck? He looks like a minor. Jungle Boy sucks. 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 Don't run your fucking yap. Don't fuck around and find out. Jungle Jack, what, you gonna do something about it? Yeah, apparently. Oh my God, He grabbed me. Tony ended up firing his biggest star. Punk should send Jack off a Christmas card. Look in my eyes. What do you see? CM Punk to the WWE. What's Jack Perry gonna fucking do? Tony, fire the fucking little goof. Arrogant knob. Indie nitwit. Here's your contract, Jack. Rip, rip, rip. Tony went, he made me mad. Send him another check, but don't let him come back. Jungle Boy sounds fake and like a dork. Runs and hides because he doesn't like to talk. Homeless Jack living in a box under an overpass on cocaine, shot into space. Jack is slapping himself in the face. He's ready to get butt fucked by Sonato, the Cucamonga Kids, Mr. Okada, and the independent legal team. They get through a bucket of Vaseline. Hey, scapegoat, Nanny Goat, Billy Goat, Rick. Hey.
Every booking is golden, you see. Perfect cards crafted for you and me. Yeah, the best guy's Tony Khan, it's true. Triple cup, best damn booker in the land. 3 red cups stacked up, always in command. Triple cup, living legend of the fight. Just a call away from making it right. Never see him back hard, no way. Got the whole roster locked in for the day. A Crimson Tower, modern art. Triple cup. Triple cup. Every booking is golden, you see. Perfect cards crafted for you and me. Yeah, the best guy's Tony Khan, it's true. Triple cup. Best damn booker in the land. 3 red cups stacked up, always in command. Triple cup. Living legend of the fight. Just a call away from making it right. Never see him back hard, no way. Got the whole roster locked in for the day. A Crimson Tower, modern art. Triple cup. Triple cup.
What's happening, guys? Welcome to another eclectic edition of PWT live show Saturday night. Yeah, I am your host, the infallible Phil Marks. That is Phil S. Marks.
You fucking Mark!
How you guys doing? Make sure you hit like, subscribe, retweet, heart, all that good stuff. You can super chat in, become a member for 99 cents. Patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes. Let's get into stuff, man. Tonight, we got Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods quit WWE, or were granted their release, however you want to word it. You only get so many characters on YouTube. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Tonga Loa and Jeff Cobb were fired, though. Okay, that happened. And rumors that AEW will be dead in 2027 have surfaced. So all of that and more on PWT live show Saturday night. Round of applause for me and the PWT universe. You guys rule. I appreciate all of you guys so much for being here every evening and that we do a show. And yeah, there's over 100 folks on YouTube and X. I'm also on Kick. If you guys have Kick, consider checking me out on Kick. You know, I'm trying to build, a catalog of live streams over there, and then just spreading out a bit. YouTube's doing some trippy things lately, guys. I don't know if you see what's going on. I'm trying to not draw any attention over here. No. But yeah, it's like, if anything, whatever, they're just like nuking YouTube channels and shit. AI's getting out of control. It's taking over, man. We're under attack. But yeah, I'm everywhere. Just go and check me out. I've been uploading some shit to Rumble, to fucking things are on Patreon, things are on live streams, are on Kick. So you guys will know where to find me, but at Pro Wrestle Times on X. They'll never ban me there. I'm over there. Okay. So you guys know where to find me. Let's get into things, guys. Let's just get into stuff as everybody files in. We're going to start with miscellaneous news before we get into, there's not a whole lot, like, at all. Okay. For miscellaneous news, we're going to jump into this first. I'm Phil S. Marks. You guys are the beautiful PWT universe. Let's just get right into things. This is Wade Barrett, and I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Cole?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
And maybe some good news. A lot of ex-WWE superstars popping up and around. So a trademark filing has been made for Nikki Storm and the Best in the Galaxy. And that was the former ring name and nickname of Nikki Cross. So she's going to go make some indie dates and stuff. People are like, where should Nikki Cross go? TNA or AEW or da-da-da-da? She's just going to fly around and make bags doing indie spots. And I don't really care where she ends up because she's always going to have a job in wrestling. And people will look to hire her as either a coach or a mentor, or she can produce, or she could come up with ideas or whatever the fuck, right? So shout out Nikki Cross. Lacey Evans announces, what's her other name? She has like an OF name or whatever. Her like real name. Maybe it's her real name. I don't actually know. It sounds kind of like a wrestler name. Lacey Evans, nonetheless, at Lacey Evans WWE on Instagram, announced her return to pro wrestling. So she says, I will be returning to wrestling. Yes, the sassy Southern Belle is on her way back. As you all know, I just did a signing in Las Vegas during WrestleMania, and it really lit that fire. She also said her 4-year-old daughter inspired the comeback. I stepped out of the wrestling business for my children, and technically I'm stepping back in for my kids. My 4-year-old was just looking around at the signing. She's seen me on TV, and she just wants to see it live. What kind of mama would I be if I didn't show her? Yeah, so she's going to wrestle again. I wonder where, if anywhere, people will hire her for the amount that she would probably demand to go, because she could just take spicy photos, and she owns like a coffee shop and stuff. I'm sure she makes tons of money. So, and I'm sure she did make good money before when she was in WWE. So it's like, where would she show up? In AEW? WWE ain't going to want her back. AEW, I don't know, maybe TNA. I think TNA could be good for her. She could take it to another level there with her whole gimmick and the way they book people and stuff. But is that what they want to do? Or are they just like, no, we're invested in these other people? It all depends. But yeah, I just don't see her hitting a lot of like indie dates. You know, whereas Nikki Cross, I see her popping up everywhere. Macy Estrella, that's her name, yeah. So speaking of former WWE superstars or possibly current WWE superstars, current WWE shareholder, TKO shareholders, that's for goddamn sure. Or is he a shareholder or he's just on the board? Either way, he's making money off the shit. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was pulled over by police after a Walk of Fame event. Here's TMZ. Oh, you know Rock's just pissed. Or is this like a body cam footage? I was going to say, you know he's just pissed that they have this on camera. You can see first thing he does, he looks at the dude with the camera, and he's just like, oh, fuck. Just doing his job. Don't get mad, Rock. No, he doesn't look mad. He's being cool. He's not having a drunken Britney Spears meltdown or whatever. But you know he is pissed. And the cop doesn't give a fuck. And the cop's black, guys, so it's not racist. You guys are... They weren't racially profiling The Rock here, okay? LAPD's finest right here, keeping The Rock humble, right? Are we going to watch this whole thing? Might as well. Was he like getting gas, or was he turning the corner? So like it's like I don't know, like if anyone's been pulled over, you know what this is like. So he's just saying a bunch of shit. You ain't trying to hear it, but like he's legally got to say certain things to you, you know? So you're just like, all right, let's fucking go. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for doing your job. So yeah, he gets a ticket. We don't need to hear the semis go by. I love you, Rock. I'm a big fan. So speaking of ex-WWE, Shane Haste, FKA Shane Thorne, Slapjack in WWE, defeated Yoshiki Inamura to win the GHC Heavyweight Championship at Pro Wrestling Noah Spring Mayhem. Now, Inamura rules. Shane Haste, he was in like TM61 or whatever the fuck it was called, The Mighty Don't Kneel, or The Mighty Don't Fall. What was it? I can't remember. Either way, he rules. Yeah, TMDK. So The Mighty Don't Kneel. TM61 was their WWE version of that tag team, but I think that's like the overarching group name with like Zack Sabre Jr. and everyone who's in it. Either way, he beat Inamura for this title, and this is pretty dope. Let's look at the finisher. Shout out Pro Wrestle Noah and GHC, and I don't know if I need to start like new folders where it's like NXT AAA Noah folder and then like a fucking for on the AEW side like CMLL ROH fucking whatever folder in Phil Marks bookmarks. I don't know if that's a good idea, but I might start doing that too. Yeah, he's got a cool finish and shit. He's got size. Pause. So speaking again of old WWE talents who are making waves here, getting a lot of attention, Trevor Murdoch has announced his retirement from pro wrestling on today's episode of NWA Power. And this was their debut on the Comet app or the Comet streamer or whatever the fuck. And so here's what Trevor Murdoch had to say.
What's going through my mind is I'm not sure if I can do this anymore. I've been wrestling for 27 years, and I have seen guys that come in here and they're only here for a payday. They don't give the fans what they deserve. And I always told myself that if I ever got to that point, I wasn't going to be that guy. A little harder than I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't want to embarrass my family. I don't want to embarrass Harley Race. So at this moment, I'm announcing my retirement from pro wrestling.
Wow.
I want to thank the fans. I want to thank you guys.
I'm going to be honest. Maybe it's Mandela effect, but I thought he retired already. Or am I tripping? I thought he retired like not long after that Tim Storm guy or whatever. But either way, shout out Trevor Murdoch. And Giselle Shaw won the NWA Women's Championship on the debut episode of NWA Power on Comet. She's the MLP Women's Champion and the NWA Women's Champion.
It's it! That was it that did away! New show! We have a new champion! The winner of this match! And new NWA World Women's Television Champion!
I don't know. I like that they use the ropes and then they do like the red, white, and blue. That's fine. But I like that they use the ropes kind of like WWE-ish style, not because I want everyone to copy WWE, but it's just that everybody other than WWE uses the cables. So I don't know. To me, it's just cool when you see like, oh shit, here's an indie or here's like a lower fed that actually uses ropes, because it's the more unique thing in a way when you really think about it. So, yeah, so that's pretty, I don't know. They're making moves. I bring these clips to the show to go, listen, they're trying to do some big shit and shake it up and get headlines on their Comet debut, and I think it worked. Speaking of lines to your head, speaking of lines, cocaine. That's a gift for his number one fan, Hokane. Bro, I invented Hokane. She's a hoe who loves cocaine. Hello. I hand to God, bro, I'm a Christian. And ooh. Nice hookup.
Perhaps a souvenir for his biggest fan here.
Looks like he's gonna blow her a kiss.
Is the devil's favorite dealer. A man of few words. Is that flirting?
And ooh.
So there you go. There's JCW. Shout out JCW. It looks pretty empty around the top there. Some folks are saying that this show's fallen off a little bit because of Vince Russo, Barreau possibly. And we'll see. That, ladies and gentlemen, was miscellaneous news. Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
I don't know. It's just not for me. Like, not like I laugh at like those clips, but it's not like some shit I could watch. Like I'm watching every week going, this is seriously good. You know, not to be a hater on JCW, but it's kind of funny to just like watch it and laugh at it because it's shitty. I get it. There's an element to that, but it's just too much of that. The clips are funny. It's like the mystery wrestling clips. They had, I think that's Evil Uno's fed. And they did a clip, or they did a match, but they posted a clip rather that I saw of, what was his name? It was like Kevin Nash, like Sasquatch. It was like Kevin Nash, but a Sasquatch, and he blew his quad or whatever. He blew his knee out while he's fucking after he hits a big boot, and it's like a guy in a Sasquatch suit just like Kevin Nash, and like it's so fucking stupid, but it's funny in clips, you know. It's indie-rific shit, so I can appreciate it. But like JCW, for people who are hyping it up, I'm like, but how long does this last? Like, how far can you really take cocaine? I get it, it's like underground and shit, but yeah, I don't know, just my opinion. So let me flip over here to TNA news. There's like two things in TNA news, nothing crazy. So let's just do this quick here. Ladies and gentlemen, banjos and aces and eights, it is time for TNA news. TNA news. So AJ Francis got in the mix here. You know, Carlos Silva and has been catching heat from AEW, and Tony Khan, I guess, have been going back and forth, but not really. It's just kind of like AEW fans and TNA fans have been going at it, right? And so Carlos Silva explains why he pulled TNA from these matches on the indies. And we've already talked about this on the show, but I just want to play it here from Busted Open Radio from the horse's mouth here. And then AJ Francis had a response because he was like going to bat for Carlos Silva when everyone's kind of lolling on him, you know?
There was supposed to be the match between Nick Nemeth and MJF out in Long Island. And you stopped it. Fans were upset at you. They pointed the finger of blame at you. And I think you've realized too, fans get over it quick, just like anything else. You can't take the highs too high and you can't take the lows too low. What went behind that decision? How tough was that decision to make for you?
It was super tough. And look, all these business decisions are tough. And I don't like being called a little bitch on social any more than anyone does. And it's
I hear it every day. It's okay.
Never happened. But it's okay. You know, yeah, you do take the goods with the bads, and you got to make some hard decisions. My job sometime is to make hard decisions. And for the fans and for all of you and for, you know, Mike. And
you guys see Ospreay too? He's like, it's cowardly, bruv, to pull these matches. Like, calling people cowards. It's like, man, you're the guy who got fucking hurt, comes back, just rests on his laurels, doing dumbass shit, not getting over, tied up in Moxley's bullshit, took Tone's money, talking about going to New Japan more again. Like everybody does. Even the Bucks did that. Oh, we're just going to dip out to Japan for a while. It's like, holy man.
You know, our
hasn't drawn anything. What has Ospreay drawn for AEW?
You know, our locker room, we're going to make decisions that are good for TNA, and we got to protect TNA as you know, Kevin Plank and Under Armour used to say, you got to protect this house. And it's a real slogan. And we've had some other folks come at us, and they've moved into, you know, our nights. They've made some decisions. They've tried to block us in arenas and
so that's the part no one's talking about. Whoa, Silva just revealed that AEW's tried to block us in our other arenas, dude. No one's talking about that. They're just like, Carlos Silva's a bitch. And even I said too, like, listen, you can't be mad that they're doing collisions on Thursdays. That was the whole, like, you guys are going to stand your ground and they are going to do collisions from time to time on Thursdays. Like, he had to know that was going to continue. They would have just backed down from TNA. So no, that's an L you can give him. But how about the revelation that they're blocking TNA from certain venues? Nobody's talked about that. Nobody's talking about that. Dave isn't melting down about that.
Dummy, yeah.
None of these dirtbags and lily pickers give a fuck about that.
venues, and that stuff's real and it's out there and it's okay, because everyone's got to make the decisions for their business, but we're also just not going to lie down and not make decisions that are good for our business. And unfortunately, sometimes those decisions are tough, and we're very thoughtful about them, and we try to do the best to make good when we have to make those decisions. And in the case of you know, Nick and Leon and a few of the matches that had to get shut down, we tried to make good and make calls and take care of the business as best we could.
Was it your decision to be made? Was it like
it was? Yeah, it was my decision. Yeah, I take full ownership. Look, I've got a great.
Yeah, like Tone's pulled people off of shows. Who gives a fuck? That's what you do when you are running a business and you're trying to keep your guys over in your business. So I get it. Everybody wants to be like, oh, we should all come together. We are family. All my brothers, sisters, and me on the indies, right? They all want to fucking sing Kumbaya on the indies and help each other and scratch. I get that. But then there's no difference between like making it to the majors, quote unquote. You know, there's a step above, and you need to position yourself that way. TNA lets people work all over the place. It's just considering who their partners are. They can't really fuck with AEW. And that's fine, because AEW's done things like realize GCW is going to outdraw Dynamite in the same building with Matt Cardona. So they swipe Starks because he isn't going to resign, and then they send in Jericho, and then they take Cardona and have a main event their fucking Dynamite. That's right before the GCW show that's there. You know what I mean? And that's kind of slimy too, but nobody really goes at, well, people do go at Tone about that, I guess. Yeah, I don't really A-log Carlos Silva the way I hate on Tone. But either way, though, AJ Francis, fair enough. You know, that's a point for Tone. People do go at him constantly. But AJ Francis said, just to be clear, Carlos Silva don't got to explain himself to any fucking buddy. Yeah, so this, like, I agree with Top Dollar here. But he did it anyway, so shout him out. And then this guy here at Nobody Ultima says, do you think he was wrong for pulling the match, though? Be honest. And then AJ Francis says, no, because nobody had a problem with AEW not allowing Powerhouse Hobbs to lose to me. Oh, shit. See, here's new news that nobody knew about. So AEW didn't allow Powerhouse Hobbs to lose to AJ Francis at Fourth Rope, even though the next night in the same building, I was in a sold-out main event with Nick Nemeth for the TNA World title. Cut that victim bullshit out. Every company protects interests. So Top Dollar revealing as well. So two revelations here. Carlos Silva claims that AEW's blocked them, TNA, from certain arenas and buildings. And Francis is saying that Powerhouse Hobbs wasn't allowed to lose to AJ Francis at Fourth Rope. So where's the meltdowns from fucking Brian Alvarez? Where's Dave Meltzer?
superstar, babyface, that former heel thing. So
where's the fucking Fightful articles? Where's any of that shit? We move along here. Speaking of where are you, Dexter Lumis has popped up the first of the Wyatt Six to make it clear like what they're doing and where they're going. And there is rumors floating around. Like I literally saw a headline where it's like people in AEW expect the Wyatt Six to go to TNA after leaving WWE. And it's just like, are you fucking, what are we talking about?
Let's talk about it.
The fuck are we talking about, guys? So whatever. Loomis shows up with Indy Hartwell, as it should be, and she cuts his hair, and I can only assume they're going to go continue what they were doing in TNA. And that's just the right move. Like Loomis, Samuel Shaw, I think, right? Sam Shaw or whatever. He has some unfinished business, I'm sure, in TNA from his last run. And that's really where Dexter Lumis is just that same gimmick, And then he did the Wyatt Six stuff. And he and Indy Hartwell are not people who are going to come in and like demand too much money or fucking TV time or anything, right? Like he can just, I'm sure he'd be fine with like a decent contract there, and he would actually help elevate the show. I think this isn't like, oh man, we're fucking taking ex WWE guys. If you really think about it, if he's cutting his hair off here and he goes back to TNA, it's really like his return to TNA. Like he really made his bones in TNA. It's not like he went to WWE and they had him playing a whole different character. He went there to continue his TNA shit, just with a different name so they could own the IP. So really, this would be a W. I'm like, for sure, bring him in. I don't know about bring Gacy in and Bo Dallas and shit. I don't know about all that, but Dexter Lumis for sure should go back to TNA, I think, out of anybody. And it's pretty clear that's what's going to happen if he's with Indy and they're doing this vignette here. So
it's time.
They're talking about you, boy. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain.
yeah, I just hope they stay together in TNA, and then they could even do, like, if they do wrestle some indies, because I think Indy Hartwell went to HOG and whatnot. They could even take that act kind of on the indies, and there's matches there for them. And imagine like Black and Vega are out there, Cross and Scarlet are out there. In TNA, you have Ali and Steels are there. You can mix and match some shit. You have that Elegance dude with like Ash or Heather or M, and you could get some matches out of that. So definitely, I'm digging that. I'm feeling Lumis like more than I was in WWE. I mean, I like the Wyatt Six, but you guys know how I feel. Like I just feel like it got kind of played out, and I wasn't too terribly shocked. Like I don't think it's an L that they let the Wyatt Six go. I think it's an L that maybe they let Bo Dallas go, though. Out of all the guys, I think they should have kept Uncle Howdy. But that was TNA news, guys. So I am going to put a poll in the chat, and this is for Kick, X, and YouTube. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Who do you think should have stayed in WWE? Is possible, because I'm redacted. I did a typo, but I meant if possible. 1 for Kofi Kingston, 2 for JC Mateo, 3 for Xavier Woods, 4 for Tonga Loa. Okay, so that's 1 for Kofi, 2 for JC, 3 for Xavier, 4 for Tonga Loa. And vote wherever you guys are. YouTube, X, Kick, wherever the fuck. Just put a 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat. Let me know, who do you think should have stayed in WWE? Is possible, because anything is possible. God damn, I'm such a stupid idiot. I fucked up.
Idiot.
because we're going to talk a bit about that as we get into WWF news and as we get into some AEW news as well. And there's some breaking news about AEW. So I'm actually going to bookmark this as you guys vote and hit like and subscribe and retweet and all of those nice, kind things that you guys do. Okay, well, that's going in AEW news. And this is going in AEW news. Damn it. I just, okay, that, so guys, we're not going to cover the whole Anna Jay, Jack Perry, Sean Ross Sapp saga tonight because I'm actually just making a video about that. And it's a good thing I held off because new Jack Perry stuff that I need to add to that video. So I'm going to have to record another piece and add it. So yeah, and check out some of the videos I made that are more like edits and me talk, like it's not on PWT Live or anything. I did one about Paul Walter Hauser, Ric Flair, being a drunk mess, Paul Walter Hauser and Tony Khan coping about WrestleMania in Saudi. What else? I did a video on like the recent cuts that happened. We're going to talk about cuts tonight though, obviously. Well, cuts and quittings, if you will. But yeah, make sure you check those videos out too, because those are just videos, right? Like they didn't happen before. Yeah, so that's quite interesting. So let's get into okay, I see the votes. I'm gonna let you guys vote till we get to WWE news. I might save it till last. You guys want to talk about AEW first? Like there's a lot of rumors or whatever circulating because Nick LoPiccolo said that like AEW got denied in August of some shit for being renewed. We're going to go over all of that. That's going to be like the focal point of AEW news. So I think we might do that next. I do just want to do some Tony Khan watch and see what chat's saying. It's great. Yeah, so we do have a Tony Khan live as well where he's like showing off a Lucha mask. And it's like, I can't wait, but he is taking your boy Phil's advice. So all of that and more just in a little bit. I'm going to check in with chat here. Oh my God, I just can't wait. I cannot wait. Oh, this PWT. How I love this PWT. Ghetto, only the Boo Day, do all the AEW. Yeah, let's do AEW 4. Yeah, so you guys are just throwing numbers in there. 1 and 3. Stop picking Cobb, you twats. Get your votes in. Yeah, so that's 1 for Kofi Kingston, 2 for JC Mateo, 3 for Xavier Woods, 4 for Tonga Loa. Who do you think should have stayed if possible? Now, I know that's just a very broad question, but I mean it to be. Like, let's say Xavier could have been like, all right, I'll take the deal. But Kofi's like, nah, fuck that. I'm still going to go. Like, you know, let's say it just worked out with someone, whether that means they're getting a monster push or not. Like, who do you think should have, if it was possible, like in their heart, monetarily, whatever you chalk that up to? Like, who's the one out of those 4 you're like kind of the most bummed to be like, fuck, they're gone? And yes, I want it to be separate, the tag teams, right? Like, obviously, I'd love if New Day were together anywhere they go, but you might like Kofi more than Xavier or whatever the fuck. Never liked Wyatt 6. Damn. Yeah, a lot of people thought they were like a one and done with the debut. I want the match for I think you're talking about like the high school rival, Cody Rhodes and Xavier Woods, Austin Creed. They were fucking rivals in like real shoot amateur wrestling in high school. That would be awesome. Hell yes. Okay. Shannon Elizabeth is on OF. Forgetting American Pie is on DVD. That popped me. True that, dude. That shit's on VHS too. That's one of the last VHS movies. Okay, so let's do some AEW news. Everybody hydrate though. Speaking of hydration, someone who knows a whole lot about hydration. Chris Jericho.
I look and see it's not just me. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spent our lives on trial. walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Let me get wild. Yo!
Oh, yeah. So I hope everybody's nice and wet right now, nice and juicy. Let's get into this AEW news. And we'll do it this way today. We're going to, yeah, okay. Everybody, you know what time it is. You better already be typing Ichi Nissan Da in the chat. Ichi Nissan Da. Because it's time for AEW news. And the best guys, Tony Khan. So we're going to kind of start with the best guys tone today, okay? Typically, I like to end. It's the cherry on top of the shit Sunday that is AEW news a lot of the time. This is courtesy of the Drainmaker Wrestling Observer newsletter. Tony Khan negotiated with Zelina Vega when she was let go the last time by WWE, but she pretty much ghosted him and signed back. He got ghosted.
It's great.
So she ghosted his ass. And that was the story back then as well. If you guys remember, she got released. She said some shit on her Twitch about union or something like that. She got released, or not union, actually. It was because they told all the wrestlers they had to shut their Twitches down and shit, right? And so she was like, fuck that, which is the right move because she did get her job back. But then she got released this time. And basically it's out there because of the Observer that Tone is interested in her. However, she did ghost him, so maybe that left a sour taste in his mouth. I'm not sure. Black and Vega in AEW just would be what it was last time. I mean, he would just not get used that much. They'd want him to lose to a bunch of guys to like teach him a lesson, even though it's like bad WWE when they do shit like that. But Tone would do the same fucking thing in a heartbeat. And also, what would they do? Just like House of Black, but with Zelina? Like, that's all. Blah, blah. I don't need to see that. I'd rather see them like tear it up in MLW, start a program with them against Cross and Scarlett, or you do a thing where they team up with Cross and Scarlett. Now, hear me out. You have Black and fucking Cross on the indies or like MLW fighting the skyscrapers and shit. I don't know where they go around, just the indies, all the shit. And then you have Zelina and Scarlett teaming up. And I know neither of them are like the craziest, best in the fucking ring, right? But you have them team up and then take out, or there's some female tag team titles around there, or not. You don't even need to like collect gold, but just like win one and go, or just like dominate whatever chicks are in whatever fed. And then they turn on each other. And I don't know if you can flesh this story out on the indies, like who has the money to shill this out. But if there's any indies out there, Freddie Prinze Jr., Paul Walter Hauser, you're always talking shit. Any of you guys with the big bucks, you hear me, do this, okay? Do a story there. I bet those guys could all tell a really good story or just something, you know? I just think going to AEW is like, well, you know? It's just going to be House of Black with them, or it's going to be like he fights House of Black with her. You know, like what are they going to do? He's not going to start booking her over like fucking Jamie Hayter or Megan Bain or like Chris Statlander or fucking. So what's the point, right? Because in WWE, people were like, Zelina needs a mid-card title or a world title again. So in AEW, do you think Tone's going to give her the TBS title? Like, he would never do that. And then all those same people won't even say that same shit is the problem. So why would they go there? Just a bunch of money to chill at home. If that's what they want, then do that. That's like the best, you know, go and do that. But if you're like looking for a creative outlet, and if the rumors are true that Black was like complaining about, oh, well, fuck, whatever the fuck, I don't know. There's just rumors that he was saying shit. And that may relate to why he was just out of nowhere taken out of, because he was seemingly supposed to get involved somehow in that Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, like the whole lead up to WrestleMania, he was in the background of all that shit. Then they just go, oh, you're cut. So it's just like the day of, they put him on the cut list, the day of the cuts, maybe. But I also just don't believe that entirely. I think that there could be something else there. And I'm not saying like he was talking shit or whatever, but there's just rumors that he was complaining about his creative or whatever. So let's say it's a creative endeavor you guys are after. I don't think AEW is the right place to go. You'll get stuck with Leo Rush as like your pet. Right? He'll be like your pet or something. Or you end up like Athena, who's not doing that bad. I mean, she's working on her own wrestling school. She's making money. She's been in ROH, and she surpassed Bruno Sammartino's 1,237 plus days as ROH Women's World Champion. And she's had 35 title defenses in that amount of time. If that was Roman stats, they'd be like, man, fuck Roman Reigns. Dude, the sicko sector would be like, oh, fuck, Roman Reigns ain't shit. These guys, 0 title defenses. Oh, that's what it would be. We know this. But with that being said, congrats to her. I'm not shitting on it. I just think she should have been on the main roster. But hey, again, if she's getting paid, she's doing this with the ROH women's title, okay, and she runs her own indie / school. So if that's where her heart is and she's down to do that, I just, like, here's the thing. When you hear, like, Rusev ain't doing shit, and you're like, man, that guy could be, like, a top heater fucking, he could be, like, a top heater, like a top fucking heel character, like really anywhere, you know, if you booked him correctly. Like even in WWE, they're positioning him as like a gatekeeper to the Intercontinental so that the baby faces can beat him for the Intercontinental title. And he might even touch it one time before he's gone. I don't think Rusev be in fucking WWE that long again. Not to be just the way they're cutting people, not to be a hater again, but like I just think he's fucking he gets snip after the, you know, probably like fucking end of this year or next year or some shit. Not, I like Rusev, but the way they're cutting folks and the way people are like, fuck it, I'll just leave. Rusev, I don't know if he's long for WWE, but that aside, it's cool to see that Athena's like giving back. Like, what was Rusev doing? He was just training and fucking going on his Twitch or whatever. Every now and again, what was he doing? Just going to Bulgaria, chilling at home. That's all fine and dandy. But she's like starting a school and a fed and like trying to coach the next generation, you know? So hopefully she's parlaying Tone's Bucks and the light schedule into other shit. And it seems like she is. And I mean, hey, has prestige been brought to this title with this run? I mean, in the history books, it'll say like, it's not like it's even comparable to Bruno. And that was his second run, by the way, too. It was Bruno's second run. But is it comparable in any way? No, absolutely not. Just based off sheer number of defenses. If you want to play like the kayfabe is real life, it's still real to me, damn it, game. Or if you just want to play like who drew and shit, you know, like who's the business based around, it's fucking him. Like if she disappeared from ROH, it wouldn't affect ROH at all, you know, and that's not a knock on her. And yeah, it would have been cool if Tony, like, if this reign really meant something and ROH was like about to lock down a fucking streaming deal and they were about to, and they had this fucking someone go into ROH or some new young signee that they just signed. And everyone's like, oh my God, is she here to stop the reign of Athena? And people gave a shit. It would really be cool if people gave a shit. And that's on Tone again, right? So we're kicking Tone. I have been defending Tone a bit, but we're kicking him around a little bit, unfortunately. So in sad news here, and this is from People Magazine or People Twitter, professional wrestler Tanae Brooks, Rebel, 47, breaks down in tears revealing ALS diagnosis. And she says that she prays for a peaceful death, and she conquered lung cancer, and then she garnered this ALS diagnosis, in which, you know, it's just a heartbreaking video. Prayers and good energies, PWT Universe, hands in the sky, spirit bomb style, and jazz fingers for all your good energies to Rebel and her loved ones. And it won't be immediate or anything, but it's just a life of, if you know anything about ALS, you know, it's like a slow deterioration. And Yeah, it's just unfortunate. Speaking of unfortunate health situations, Tony Khan just announced that Persephone is injured and out indefinitely, and she won't be wrestling in the Survival of the Fittest match at Supercard of Honor. Instead, Zeta Steele will wrestle Hyan to determine her replacement for the ROH pay-per-view. So, Supercard of Honor, they have this match set up, and again, I didn't even really know that this was coming. These graphics are cool. May 15th, yeah, so this is coming up. And so Hyan's stepping in because her tag partner, Maya World, was in. And you have Starks in there, Athena, Trish Adora, Yuka Sakazaki, and then Persephone's hurt. And they just, I think, are getting her from CMLL, or she dual contract, I forget. But again, dude, she's fucking hurt. Lots of injuries. Speaking of luchas and luchadoras, and speaking of listening to PWT, look at this, guys. So we felt Tone here like pretty much every week whenever he drops a live. And I've said this a million times. He needs to cut these videos down to like 1 minute, even if he spams the timeline and goes, hey, here's this match. This match is awesome. And then after that match, there's this match. Check out Dynamite. And then he does another minute video where he's like, and then also in the undercard, we got a tag title match and the blah, 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 blah. Like that's all good, right? But he does this thing where he just rambles on belligerently for 7 straight minutes, 12 straight minutes, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight minutes, and nobody knows what the fuck he's saying because he's just babbling about last week and next week and what's on other shows and how great these fucking wrestlers are that he likes. And that's well and dandy, but this is a 1 minute, under 1 minute video of him marking out about a luchador mask. Okay. I mean, this is just incredible. Okay, we need a Conan. We need an Orale mi raza on the soundboard, dude, when we're marking out about Lucha. But he just does a 1 minute video. And why? Because he's really excited about this. He's not genuinely excited about these fucking cards he throws together last minute, comes up with, oh, and Will Ospreay demands a match. And then he fucking phones Dave quick, rolls out of bed, phones Dave. Meltzer runs the card by him, then like records and drops the live promoting the fucking match card from the hotel room. He's not passionate about that, dude. Look how excited he is. He just talks about it in 1 minute, really quick. Just fucking boom, boom, boom. Check out this sick mask. He should be doing this for the matches, for fuck's sakes. So here's Tony Khan. He went live. Let's check it out. And again, he always has like a school project. He's always in a school or like showing off one of his art projects. This is a piece I grew up with. Here's a mask. I paper mache'd this. We did origami style folds on the Lucha mask. It's very culturally representative of many cultures. It's great. It's like a buffet of cultures on a Lucha mask. Kind of like AEW wrestling. Here, let's watch this.
Hey, we are live here. And just to reiterate, coming out of my last live stream, of course, here representing AEW and CMLL, to reiterate, Persephone, the CMLL Women's Champion, injured last week by the mist of Julia Hart.
The mist took her soul from her body and trapped it in this mask. Now, Nacho Libre has to take on Mucha Lucha. At Forbidden Door, we're crossing over into the animated world. Mucha Lucha versus what's his name? El Clone. Winner, freeze Persephone's soul.
Will not be able to participate.
That's like a shoot Lucha Underground angle that they would do.
Participate at the Survival of the Fittest or in upcoming bookings in AEW and CMLL. So this will be addressed in Ring of Honor. And ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to say, minutes ahead of AEW Collision, this is going to be a great show.
Okay, hold on. Whoa. Hold on, wait. So he popped in to go, hey, Persephone's hurt. So I'm going to deliver this news holding a random Lucha mask art project. I was gifted this by El Santo's niece. Well, she said she was El Santo's niece. I don't know. I was on vacation. And she just like kind of made me buy. She traded my Rolex for this. It's okay, though. I have a collection. It's great. I swear it's authentic. Okay, so he's like, Persephone's a luchadora. Persephone's from Mexico, right? Is she? I actually don't know, but she's Mexican. Let me get a fucking lucha mask and just hold it while I say she's hurt and can't take bookings in AEW or CMLL. Bro, this guy's so unserious. Oh my God, this is actually nutty. Oh man, this is actually kooky.
AEW Collision coming up minutes from now.
I thought he was going to be like, this is a gift from me, or like in honor of fucking. Oh my God, it's literally just, well, I'm talking about a luchadora, so I'll get a luchador mask and I'll just hold it while I say AEW won't be here. It's actually a cake. Is it cake? He cuts into it. It's actually cake. Jokes. I bought it for her. A feel better present. A get better present.
Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on TNT and HBO Max tonight.
At the very end, he fumbles it. He juggles it around like Goofy. Oh, it breaks. It's like a vase. Oh my God. Tone, man, he's such a cutie pie. How can you hate that guy? He's so cute.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
So that was the best guys, Tony Khan. That might be one of the best Tony Khan videos of all time. Of all the times. Patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times, guys. And you can super chat in if you want to support or join. Patreon. LuigiTron51 for 2 says, why does he look like CM Punk? For 2, why does he look like CM Punk is yelling at him? Yeah. Yeah, dude. I don't know. He always looks like he's going to the principal's office, or he just looked like he was at the front of his class doing an art presentation. Like, this is my lucha mask. I made it out of paper mache. Oh, shit. Wrestling Chico, Ayo for 2 says, happy Lucha Saturday, Phil. PWT for life, Chico. Dude, shout you out. And yeah, what is there AAA on or what? Do we got to turn that on? Is it on at some time? Is it on? Is it on? Is it on yet? Is it on? Are we there yet? Let me know though, guys. If AAA is on, I will throw it on YouTube and I'll say on again. I'll say it so much that we all start thinking about how weird of a word on is. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, it's chat saying, prayed for Rebel to get better. You're fine. I was just giving you shit. Chat's giving each other shit. What are people saying? You know, TK is going to throw a ridiculous amount of money at these recent releases. Yeah, we're about to talk about that in a sec onto his already bloated roster. He brought it from Meltzer. Yeah, it was a gift for his B-Day. Okay, guys, so let's get into some more. Let's get into some more shit. Guys, vote in the poll. There's a bunch of motherfuckers watching. I'm also live on Kick. If you guys have Kicks, check me out on Kick, because that's just like another place. We need the content like in a bunch of fucking places. So all of my live streams, I also stream live to Kick. Just so you guys know. And then vote in the poll, guys. It's the on-screen poll. So wherever you are, if you're on X, if there's like a chat thing, I don't even really know how it works. But on YouTube, wherever you are, 1 for Kofi Kingston, 2 for Jeff Cobb, 3 for Xavier Woods, 4 for Tonga Loa. Who do you think should have stayed in WWE if possible, okay? So just if it could have worked out for any reason, the one person you think should have stayed. 1, 2, 3, or 4. So let's get into this here. I'm gonna drink some water. I like how Kevin Nealon's been tweeting about like WWE and Danhausen and fucking AEW even. Like he's a wrestling guy. You got to love that. If you guys don't know Kevin Nealon, he's the guy. I don't know. You all know who Kevin Nealon is, right? You guys have to know who he is. I don't know. Maybe you don't. So we move along here. And let's get into this more serious AEW.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Because Nick LoPiccolo tweeted this out. And he says here, what's with this picture? He goes, to every journalist and every podcast who interviews Tony Khan from this day forward, please ask Tony if WBD told him back in August they would not be renewing AEW. So this is fucking insane. He's claiming that back in August, WBD told Tone already that they would not be renewing AEW. Now, here's the thing. I've talked to Nick LoPiccolo about AEW and shit. He's like truly not a fucking hater on... like maybe now he is a little bit, okay, but before he was always very like even keeled and very optimistic about AEW and shit like that. Truly. So if he's saying this and he's about to double, triple, quadruple down, we have a few things to go through here. Then I just don't think he'd say this unless he heard some shit. Now, here's the thing. Perhaps Tone is like really making a play. And maybe that's why Darby got the title, because Tone promised he'd put the title on him at some point, and he just knows that he's headed to fucking YouTube. I think Nick even claims that Tony Khan was saying, like, he's told people that his game plan is YouTube and my AEW, which is so funny because that is what I've been saying. Like, does he just do YouTube and my AEW? He could do that. That I've even said this. That is what he should do if his YouTube was popping. If he actually had like a digital print, if he fucking like, if he didn't just stop doing the YouTube show, he could establish like a weekly YouTube show and then try and use that to promote your fucking come to my AEW if you want like the actual show. And then they could maybe do a little deal with a streamer over here. But now he's just resting on like a dead YouTube platform that's really like his YouTube just ain't fucking. I'm talking about Tony Khan here. Like AEW's YouTube just ain't. It doesn't, I don't know, man. Like, it just doesn't get the fucking numbers. It gets trumped by, like, if fucking Giovanni Vinci does an interview on Chris Van Vliet, it gets more views than, like, most AEW shit. So if they had have focused on, like, we're going to do one big event a year on YouTube and shit like that, where, like, it's like a PLE, but you can only watch it on YouTube or whatever the fuck, and then, like, HBO Max can get the replay of it after on their streamer. But if they like looked at the streaming digital age and went, we're just going to dive, we're going to be the ones to be like ahead of the curve on all of this shit. But Tone just really wanted to keep doing pay-per-view and TV for some reason. And we know how much it means to him. And that's why everybody's going to twist this dagger when this shit all falls apart here on him. Right. And so it's just funny how this is sort of playing out where I was like, dude, what's going to happen? You're going to end up on YouTube and my AEW. And I don't know.
Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
It's just nutty. That was like the worst case scenario, you know? Or it would have been best case if he wasn't so adamant on like pay-per-view / fucking Invisible Max numbers / fucking we need to be on TNT and TBS and all of these things. Anyways, so he goes, WBD told him in August, I confirmed it directly and triple sourced it. Oh, yeah, and I want to note this. So this is current WBD. Now, when Paramount absorbs it, are they going to then go, nope, we're going to keep WBD? So that's, AEW. So that's essentially what Tone's got to bank on now. That's what he needs to bank on now. The problem is the people at Paramount, again, we've covered this ad nauseum. Tone has just talked shit about people who are friends with people over there, whatever. There's a whole chain of command. And none of these people, they fuck with WWE. They fuck with TKO. They not only fuck with them, they advise each other. They're fucking, you know, they have relationships. They probably send each other Christmas cards, go to each other's bat mitzvahs and birthdays and fucking Halloween parties and weddings and shit. These guys are all friends. They sit at the front rows of UFCs together. They call each other. right? It's just such a fumble to have like been shitty towards these people, and then now the merger is like Paramount's going to own a chunk of it. Now, who knows what they do with the chunk that they own of AEW? A small chunk of it, right? Do they just sell it? I don't know what you do. I'm not like a fucking high caliber billionaire business David Zaslav guy. You'd have to ask someone who does that shit, right? But as far as like putting them on TV or keeping them on TNT or whatever, like, no, they're not going to be in the AEW business. And if you guys believe everything that's true, let's say AEW just is the victims and WWE is just stepping on their neck and being petty and taking shots, and they took shots first and they are just trying to kill their competition. Okay, then it's doubly done. So even if its best case scenario is Tony's the one who talks shit, he learned and WWE doesn't really care, and they sort of slough them off now. Like, if you want to believe that side of the aisle, okay, then that still sucks for Tone. He's going to end up on YouTube and shit. You know? So all Tone can pray for is that Paramount changes what WBD was already like, we're not going to renew them for 28. So they'll be on TV through 27, but in 28, there was like a year option. They're not going to pick it up. They already told Tone this. This is why he's been reactionary with the ROH stuff, with the rolling out the AEW, with the fucking being nice to journalists and trying to just talk to Coach and Bro and I'll deal with the criticism, and I have turned a new leaf on life, and I'm fucking gonna do interviews and not be salty and bitter towards people, etc., right? So this timeline, I think, would line up with what Nick's saying. And then for him to go, I directly confirmed it and triple sourced it. I mean, guys, this is someone like putting his reputation on the line with this. You guys understand who he fucking represents in the goddamn pro wrestling biz? Okay? This is like really sticking his neck out saying some shit like this if it doesn't come to fruition. Now, I am throwing out the possibility, though, that Paramount, is it possible that Paramount is like, oh no, well, WBD decided that they weren't going to renew before we acquired them. We actually are going to renew. I mean, there's a 0.0000001% chance. I'm sure, like, never say never ever, I guess, right? But is that likely? No. But if what Nick is saying is true, then that's all AEW can hope for at this point. It's not like they're going to go back on that. They're going to be like, well, we're invested in WWE. And the other thing people need to understand is, like, and you guys got to watch this documentary. It just came out. It's made by Napoleon Blown Apart. Okay. It's a fucking incredible documentary. And maybe I'll jump on and we'll just watch the last like 15 minutes where he talks about WWE and TKO, because his whole latest documentary, I'm going to pull his YouTube channel up and I want you guys to all fucking check this out. He made a documentary about Dana White, Zuffa boxing, power slap, and it's called Power Slop. You Don't Hate Zuffa Boxing Enough. And Napoleon Blown Apart makes the fucking best documentaries, okay, about fighting, the lineal heavyweight title. Pro wrestling crosses over a couple times naturally. But at the end of this documentary, in the last 15 minutes, he talks about the state, because this doc is sort of about what TKO's doing and how they're really just fucking up UFC, essentially. And Zuffa boxing, it's going to fuck up boxing too. And boxing didn't react to it quick enough. And what Dana White's doing. And in the last 15 minutes, he kind of goes over on the wrestling side. So the way I'm on the wrestling side going, look, guys, we can't just say TKO's like not fucking anything up. Like on the MMA side, fans are saying whatever. So Napoleon Blown Apart's over on the MMA side going, look, guys, on the wrestling side of things, this is what the fans are saying. And it's brilliant stuff. And what he sort of, the conclusion he comes to, and he has like a lawyer in this doc and just certain people come on and fucking break down what he's talking about and whatever, all these court filings and the restructuring of the Ali Act and all this stuff Zuffa's doing. And they talk about TKO and they're like, dude, TKO is just about like creating They're just like buying and creating all of the shit. So like WWE, they buy that and then they're just going to own this pro wrestling space entirely. And then with UFC, same thing. Bull riding, there's no like main bull riding league that's like drawing crazy. So they go, we're going to create bull riding and we're going to fucking create our own league. We're going to create, and that's sort of like what they're trying to do. I say all of that to say, if that's their model, then AEW's fucked. They're not going to be like, yeah, we want multiple wrestling companies under our umbrella. Okay. And go and check out Napoleon Blown Apart. Here's his YouTube channel. And yeah, it's called You Don't Hate Zuffa Boxing Enough. It's a fucking brilliant documentary. And yeah, the last like 15 minutes is about TKO, and it's brilliant stuff. But basically what I'm saying is like they just want WWE to be the end all be all. So TNA is willing to accept that position as like, yeah, we'll partner with them to help our business, but they're not going to own us. We will just work with them and they will have some say in what the fuck we do. That's what that's what they're doing. They're not interested in like, oh, we can buy AEW and blow this up into a big, at the most they buy AEW so that they own all those wrestler contracts, and then they fucking expand WWE more, and then they fucking own the tape libraries for some of the IP of some of the fucking wrestlers. That would be the only thing that I could see ever happening with if TKO were to take over AEW or anything like that, right? And Tony Khan, I don't think would ever let that happen. So just the way TKO's like positioning themselves in the market, in the world of pro wrestling in general, like they are setting themselves up so there is never going to be like competition, and they don't have to monopolize to do it. They're just blowing WWE up. It's the same with UFC. All these other leagues come and go. They don't stick because the UFC is the UFC. It's like the XFL and NFL. XFL is never going to beat the fucking NFL. It just isn't. It's cool to own it. It's cool if maybe, you can sell it to some fucking rich guy after you build it up a little bit or something. Like, yeah, maybe it's cool to give some athletes a minor league to go to. NFL and XFL could even team up in some way. It's never going to beat the NFL. It's just not going to happen. And it sucks, but it is what it is. So anyways, back to Nick LoPiccolo's tweet. Please ask why Tony has been acting like nothing is wrong for the last 8 months. And then please ask Tony what his actual distribution plan is, because the only distributor left that will take AEW is Google YouTube. The My AEW app is not realistic. Exactly. And it could have been realistic if they had a very strong YouTube presence. Like they just doubled, tripled down on like, we're going to be on Twitch, YouTube, Kick. Like you go to all the fucking streamers, man. You go to you just make your internet thumbprint as big as you fucking can with AEW. And then that whole time you were promoting My AEW, or when My AEW sort of became a thing and it was ready to roll out, you're just promoting the fuck out of it, trying to get everybody on there. And if you're in America, yeah, there's no sign up yet. You can pre-sign or whatever the fuck. Maybe. And maybe that's stupid too, but it's just like they just didn't spend any time. This is all last second. All of a sudden, Tone's just like, well, here's My AEW. And now we're going to try with Ring of Honor. And now Darby gets the title, even though our ratings were going up. We're going to fuck that all up. It's just like a scramble all the time. Everything's reactionary, right? That's how I break Tone down every fucking time. And so he says the My AEW app is a death sentence in 26 if YouTube doesn't make a major deal, an MG deal, for AEW. They started building it too late, and there's no realistic way to scale it. Also, who's going to sell ads for the platform? And that's just it. Fucking Tone's got to go out there. And I said this a while back on the show. Tone's going to have to go out there and like sell the ads. The luxury of like Warner Bros being like, here, promote our big ass movie. We'll let you cross over with David Cornsweat for fucking Superman. We have the Minecraft movie. You guys are going to promote it. We'll do a little cross promotion. Here, we're running these ads, whatever. Tone's going to have to like go out there and really grind for it on his own. And yes, there's people in place. He has people out there who can do these things. But again, it's all only on you. And who's going to pay for that? Who's going to pay for that? Right? And especially, well, in the sickos' minds, like, oh, the basketball game's on, so nobody's watching AEW. But it's like, realistically, how many fucking people are watching AEW that are watching fucking NBA playoffs or whatever's going on, right? So with AEW, man, who's going to invest in that? And then, like, especially because these max numbers were all invisible, and then they go away. Because what are like BJ, Bethel, and Dave going to say? Oh, on my AEW, there was 500,000 viewers, Brian. What the fuck are you going to say? Because that would just, there's no believability in that whatsoever. And they just fucked up, and right now they're just last minute, sticking old content, an old done podcast, AEW Unrestricted, and then Ring of Honor, which people already got on Honor Club, and there was like 20,000 people sub to that. So what does that do? It's just Honor Club, but with this now defunct podcast that sucked, that would get 2,000 views if they were lucky, if Mina Shirakawa was on an episode. The fucking guy who wrote their book, I'm pretty sure, got like 1,000 views or some shit on that podcast. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy. So, and again, Nick LoPiccolo is challenging the people, like the podcasters and the fucking John Albas and shit, who just do these fluff interviews. And I quote tweeted this, and I was like, nobody's going to ask him this shit because they all want fucking jobs, dude. They all want jobs, and they all want access to fucking interviews with Tone. Okay? And hey, would I do an interview with Tone? Yeah, that'd be awesome. That would do fucking numbers. Would he ever do it, though? No. Am I sad? Am I going to cope that he would never do it? Or am I going to kiss bum so he would do it one day? Fuck no. That's dumb, okay? People don't respect people who do shit like that. But anyways, he says, who's going to sell ads on the platform? Exactly. Like, is Burger King going to come and be like, ugh? So, again, just to like Dave Meltzer and all these people out there, just be objective. Let's say this is the outcome. It's YouTube and maybe Amazon Prime and then my AEW. What happens with the ads and shit? Like, who's going to, like, objectively, that's a step backwards, no? Like, we all have to admit that shit. So it's just going to be funny to see how people spin this if this happens. And I'm not sitting here like, yeah, die AEW. And it won't die. Tone will keep it alive. It was born to be alive. Born to be alive. But it's going to be a sad day. It's going to be a sad, sad day when that happens. Well, a lot of people will rejoice. But again, though, the conversation of TNA versus AEW won't go away. And it's already steering in that direction anyways. So Kisway is not the best. They built the My AEW app. They are new to the game. Hold Tony's feet to the fire. Paramount is not real for AEW. WBD passed back in August. CW Roku is now off the table. Yeah, those are donezo. Amazon and Fox do not want AEW. Now, here's the thing. Does Fox pick it up? Well, they would have done it by now. And if they do it, it's going to be because Tone takes like, he eats a real big shit sandwich. They go to Fox, it's going to be because Tone, like the deal will be on some TNA shit less than that. Or like the same amount, maybe a little more than that, in that range, right? And that's a huge step backwards from $185 bajillion, Brian, to like 30 million. That's like a huge fucking step backwards. So, and the roster costs, again, like 100 million. That does not, and especially with the accommodations, you pay over 100 million a year for that roster. No doubt. And he's hiring guys. People want the New Day to come in. What do you think they're going to come in for? Anything less than 7 figures? Both each? Xavier and Kofi? What do you guys think? Come on, man. Tone is going. Everyone's like, you see these fucking marks with these lists. Oh, the New Day versus MCMG versus the Young Bucks, Edge and Christian, fucking the Hurt Syndicate. Meanwhile, these are all old WWE teams too. But they're just like listing all these fucking teams they can have matches with FTR. And it's like, you're going to see 3 of those if you're lucky, because the New Day is going to come in. They're going to get over $1 million each per year. And they're going to fucking sit at home most of the time. And they're going to game and shit. And Xavier Woods going to do his gaming channel. Now, this is what's crazy. When I heard Xavier Woods was gone, we're going to talk about this in a bit. What happens to up, up, down, down? I'm not sure. We'll talk about that in a bit. But he just says, Amazon and Fox do not want AEW. Fox took CMLL and AAA before, because AAA is on Fox, and then isn't CMLL on like Fox 2 or some shit? Maybe I'm wrong on that, but they don't want anything to do with AEW. Why? Is it because of some of the people that Tone pissed off that might be connected to like the Ari Emanuels and that whole Trump sphere of fucking influencers slash technocrats slash fucking you know what entertainment moguls and all this shit? Yeah, buddy. Oh, Fox News and like the whole Trump sphere. Oh yeah, you pissed them off? Oh, okay. So they're not gonna fuck with you either. And a lot of people are like, Paramount's not owned by TKO. TKO doesn't own Paramount. Yeah, we know, but it's not about that. It's about like, it's about who you know, buddy. So yeah, Fox ain't gonna want them. And Amazon, everybody says Amazon. Nick's like, no. Nick's always said no. For the longest time, he's told this to me personally. No YouTube, buddy. He said this to me forever. Amazon, okay, Optimist Phil. Okay, they offer them some money to be, because they already have their pay-per-views, or they keep their pay-per-views on there. That's like best case scenario if what Nick is saying is true. That's not a good thing. So hopefully they land on their feet. And he says, ask Tony. I'm going to check him with chat here. He says, ask Tony why he's been lying to you in the locker room and to the fans, acting like things are all great with the network. I'm sure a lot of people would love to hear his answer. And here's the thing, dude. Tony always acts like everything's good with the network. He always has, dude. He always fucking has. So let's here, let me check in with chat. What's chat saying? Chat, start chatting. What do you guys think about what I'm saying? Am I spitting here? Monkey Balls for 5 says the "We Want Tonga Loa" chant is gonna blow the roof off of Monday. Dude, how crazy is Tonga Loa comes in the company, is on the Bloodline game cover of 2K, makes a game cover, is injured like the whole time, and then just gets fucking released. And yeah, I heard he was fucking heated about his release. And then Cobb, yeah, it's just unfortunate he made it like just shy of a week. We'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, the Tonga Loa chance. Here's the thing though, I'm glad that people aren't trying to pull an R-Truth. It's the Britney Spears effect. I talked about this before. It's like, leave Britney alone. Oh my God, there's a documentary. She's in a conservatorship. We have to set her free. And then we set her free. And then she's fucking like knife dancing and crazy and fucking wasted, driving around wasted, back in rehab. And it's like, God damn it. Nobody should have said shit. You should have left her alone. You know? Maybe her family was just trying to take care of her. You know what I'm saying? And it's like with R-Truth, everyone's like, bring him back. And then they bring him back. And then what have they done with him? He's just reading ESPN Ultimate or Unlimited ads or whatever the fuck it's called. It's just like, they should have retired. He should have just retired against Cena. What more? If I was a pro wrestler and I was in the business for like, how long has Truth been in the game? Like 30 plus fucking years. Right. And I've won world titles and I've fucking done everything I've done, made tons of money. And then John Cena, like, obviously he's upset because he wants to keep getting paid and shit, you know, but it's like John Cena pins you during his farewell tour at like a big ass, what was that? A Saturday night main event or whatever event that was. It's like, dude, there's no better way to fucking go out in the business, you know? So, and that's not a knock on Truth. It was just the fans were like, we need more from Truth. And then he just comes back, nothing. And they're just paying him a bunch of money. Like, I'm surprised he didn't get cut this time around as well. So I'm glad the people weren't like, we need Xavier Woods and them back. But I think they're just happy that they decided to walk away. Monkey Balls became a new member for 99 cents. Guys, memberships are 99 cents. You can also gift memberships, okay? And I do a bonus show every Monday. We watch Raw. We watch botches. We fucking laugh at throwback wrestling shit. Sometimes there's like a pressing news story, so I talk about it there. Monday shows are elite. So I told Davey Boy Smith Jr. that if Darby Allin gets a world title run, then Jr. should have been a world champion. After SummerSlam, they will cut a bunch of talent. What's Chance saying? And guys, there's almost 300 watching. Guys, I have a poll in chat. If you're on X, we're tied right now between JC Mateo and Kofi Kingston. So anywhere you are, if you're on Kick, X, YouTube, put a 1 in the chat for Kofi Kingston, 2 for JC Mateo, 3 for Xavier Woods, 4 for Tonga Loa. Who do you think should have stayed if possible? Like in a magical fairy tale land, for whatever circumstance, who should have stayed? Who could you get more out of with like a singles run or something? Kofi 1, JC 2, Xavier 3, Tonga Loa 4. We're at a tie right now between Kofi and Mateo, 30% each. So okay, so we move along with this LoPiccolo action here. So Sean Ross Sapp put some stuff out, and guys, I'm putting out a video about Zelina Vega and Anna Jay and Jack Perry going at Sapp recently, so we're not going to cover that tonight, but this was something that came out, I don't know where, like on his, where's this from? Is this from the Fightful Select Discord or a fucking tweet or in their newsletter? I have no clue. Those we spoke to on all sides said that WBD has not canceled AEW Dynamite. Okay, well, I don't think that's what he said. Or not picked up an option or anything of the sort. It was vehemently denied. So here's the thing, right? They have not picked up an option or anything of the sort. So that doesn't mean they picked it up either. So there's been no picking up of any option. Now, they'll make that decision in 27, but 27 is also when they merge with Paramount, so they also didn't pick it up, and there's not a sign of that. They just went, no, there's nothing, or at least his sources, anything of the sort. So they're not even discussing it. It's not even on anyone's minds. They're like, wait until next year starts, and then we'll figure out if that, like that's kind of crazy. That's leaving it in Paramount's hands already right there. So that's kind of telling if that's true. But LoPiccolo says, Sean Ross Sapp, they did not cancel Dynamite, but WBD told Tony in August they would not pick up the option. If someone denied this to Fightful, they are very low level. So LoPiccolo responds to this guy and goes, I am not guessing. WBD told Tony they weren't picking up the option back in August as a courtesy. So Tony would have the time to figure out what's next. WBD is privately rolling their eyes that 8 months later, Tony is pretending everything is great. Paramount will not pick them up. Holy shit. And he says, unequivocal. None of it matters. My claim isn't a guess. WBD privately mocks Tony for pretending everything is so great. They told him months ago they think it's a weirdo behavior now. Oh, no. He's a weirdo. Oh,
the best
no.
guys, Tony Khan.
This is great. Oh, no. And then this guy here, Eric the Goat, says, is there a chance that he truly believes he has enough juice at Paramount to get a deal? Rich kid syndrome, a.k.a. my daddy, will call his friends and things will be all right. LoPiccolo goes, no, 0. He believes he'll get a sizable guarantee from YouTube. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, I know. TNA just got off YouTube and onto TV. Tone's going to YouTube, and motherfuckers want to pretend it's not a war between them, and it's fucking they want to talk it's like it's AEW versus WWE. It's fucking AEW versus TNA. I've been saying it forever.
Wrestling's not fake.
Oh my god, if this shit is true, this is fucking nutty, bro. Let's see. All of Hollywood knows this. That's who he's negotiating with, not the fans. LoPiccolo says, I heard it directly from top-level WBD execs, and I have another 9 non-WBF, I think he meant WBD, confirmations. Everyone in Hollywood is aware. Oh, no. I know. Oh, buddy. If that's true, man, that fucking stinks for Tone. Let's check if there's anything else. Let's dive deep here into ringside news and see if they provide any other context. Okay, no, we read that. Let's just see here. There's another article here, and it might just be on what I read, but either way, it's worth checking out. Tone with the fur hat and the glasses. Those we spoke to on all sides. Okay, so that's what's sad. Okay, yeah, so it's just what we covered. So, guys, that's I don't know. It's a sad day, I guess. It will be come the end of 2027. And if Tone just thinks everything's great on YouTube and my AEW, like, that is crazy bad, man. And that is like a I told you so. That's like fucking what TNA was just doing. They were, and again, they used YouTube to like revitalize themselves and like retro brand themselves again, like reboot themselves sort of with like the retro vibe, but like the new era of TNA and the new direction. They used YouTube to do that. So hopefully Tone can do the same, but it's not. Your boy Tony Khan. Ichi Nissan Da, guys. That was AEW news. And of course, the best guys,
Tony Khan.
So chat me up, chat me up, chat me up, chat me the fuck up. Chat, gonna chat me up. Eric, gonna chat me up. Oh, come on now, Eric. Better chat me up. Chat me up. We're gonna do some WWE news next, guys. What's chat saying? 613-805-42 says chat runs the likes up. We're gonna end this poll, guys. Again, 1 for Kofi Kingston, 2 for JC Mateo, 3 for Xavier Woods, 4 for Tonga Loa. Who do you wish could have stayed essentially in WWE, if anybody? Hit like, subscribe, retweet, patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes. The New Dawn, Itchy Sandy Vagina, Jimmy Cordius, Jimmy Corderis agreed with me. Someone is going to either get killed or crippled in AEW. Access is looking for wrestling. Yeah, I mean, there you go. But the problem is that the people who own Access own TNA and shit, right? So they're not going to do that. So they're fucked there as well. Why would YouTube make a guaranteed deal? Well, I'm glad you asked that. They will do that, and especially with what YouTube's rolling out. So guys, like we all get the messaging, and like if you're a fucking YouTuber and shit, and you're like a YouTube partner, what they're doing is they're rolling in this thing called, like, people are calling it brand tube because the U is no longer a thing. It's like YouTube branding. Like, it's this new era of YouTube that's being fucking ushered in. And again, it's like the TKO, they're TKOing up YouTube, which they already kind of like, listen, man, the ads and all that shit. I'm not mad at YouTube, like figuring out ways to make creators money, right? Like, people go on YouTube and just watch YouTube. They don't even watch TV like they used to, right? Like, people just watch YouTube and shit and listen to YouTube. That's the other thing too, for just audio. Not only is everybody watching YouTube, but just audio, YouTube has more people listening to it than Spotify and Apple Music and all that shit combined. So YouTube is going to pull, like, you know how Rumble does like these exclusive deals with people? Or like, Russell Brand, who's in the news for fucking, he's a sicko for goddamn sure. But he's in the fucking, he Marty Skrulled himself pretty much. And, but he's like a Rumble exclusive guy, and then they drop his clips on YouTube and shit. But if he gets banned off there, like, YouTube's going to start doing that with like Trevor Noah and shit. Bring your podcast on here. We'll give you money. It's exclusive here. The same way Spotify gave Rogan like $100 million to just be on Spotify for that little while there. His he didn't have a YouTube anymore. Like he wasn't uploading to his YouTube during the Spotify deal days. YouTube's gonna start doing that, and they already did it with series. Like, didn't Cobra Kai start as a YouTube show? So they were doing it with shows, but now it's like the way Netflix is gripping up podcasts, and they're like, you're exclusive to us podcasts now. YouTube's gonna start doing that with people. So I think Tone thinks he's gonna get this huge deal. No one will know what it is. You know, Dave's going to be like, oh, it's YouTube, it's Google, so they pay so much, Brian. Like, that's, you know, we're just going to have to deal with so much malarkey when it comes to that shit. But, and then the cop out when YouTube isn't like, okay, here's where there's no cop out. Like when AEW makes a video or does a live, like if it's not trending or getting hyped or whatever, then they won't be ranked. Like they won't be in the top search shit, right? They won't be like on the front page. It won't be, and maybe if you like wrestling, maybe it'll be on your homepage. And YouTube's like sunsetting the subscription shit, right? So like even though you're subscribed to people, they're gonna like sunset. They're like starting to sunset that, right? So like subscribers don't really matter. You get pushed for having people engaged and like long form content and like retention rate. You get rewarded for things like that, right? So your home feed, they anticipate, and I think they obviously have the numbers on this, that like more people just go on their home feed and then see what they like, or you directly search up what you're looking for, or you type it into Google, your search bar, then the YouTube video just pops up of what you're looking for. So yeah, I don't know. A lot of changes and stuff, and I get why Tone would think that he'd get a deal from YouTube, but he's gonna foot the bill. Like it's not gonna be like some $100 million fucking deal. He doesn't bring in enough eyeballs. He does not bring in enough eyeballs. And if it's just on YouTube, what are the YouTube numbers going to be? They're going to be a true number. Do you know why? Because all the HBO Max people will go watch, and then all the people who are watching on TV, they're going to go watch. And then if AEW Dynamite isn't doing 1.2 million, then we'll see, like it just airs on YouTube, right? And my AEW. People will have to take the YouTube numbers, like the live day of, which again, after I do this live, the number you guys see, like if you go look up PWT live show, Phil Marks, and then you see my live, the number you guys are seeing isn't the true number. It's actually always more. It's always more. And then it doesn't catch up typically till the day after. YouTube takes like a day to process like the first batch of analytics, and then you get replay views, obviously. So the breakdown will have to be that. How many concurrent viewers are watching? How many fucking after the first 24 hours? And then you have to measure it like a week later. When do the views stop going up past, like, is it 1,000 views a day every day for 7 days? And then we go after the 7-day curve. It's done. Like, we're going to have to measure it that way. And then Dave and them will lie about how many subscribers my AEW has. That's going to be their play. That's going to fucking backfire. They're not going to sit there and have fucking 500,000 people watching them live on YouTube and be like the #1 live stream YouTube show. You know what I'm saying? I think I saw Candace Owens had like 200K watching her live or some shit. Something crazy recently. And it's like, are they going to do that? I fucking doubt it. I doubt they'll even do that. So like, it's just going to turn out really badly for him. And then you see people in comments going, oh, what about they're going to make money off super chats? No, fuck no, they're not. Super chats are shows like this. Like, I'm a fucking creator. I mean, I engage with you guys. We vote in polls. It's like a live stream. They're not going to, that's not the play. No, it's the ad revenue. It's the ads that play during the live event, during the replay. They get a cut of premium subscriptions. That's what it'll be. It'll be whatever deal YouTube gives them, thinking they bring in eyeballs. And if YouTube knows who's got the stream, if YouTube can sleuth out how many people are actually on Max, if anybody can, it's fucking YouTube. So YouTube will figure that out, and then they'll know that it's not worth, like, what are they going to give them? 30 million? Why would they do that? So it's just banking on like ad revenue. And then Tone's got to go find like the ads for the mat and who sponsors the show. He's going to have to do all that like with his people and this Kisway thing that Nick LoPiccolo's talking about. Okay. So it's just not a realistic thing for AEW, and it just really isn't. It's just not something that realistically is going to like pay to cover the roster and shit, but he don't give a fuck about that. And then their pay-per-views will just be behind a paywall, one-time payment on my AEW or on YouTube. And it's funny because that's what TNA just did. TNA was on TNA Plus and YouTube and then Access. Nobody watched on Access, so it was just dismissed. And then they went to AMC. So now AEW's taking a step backwards, just YouTube and fucking my AEW. That's a ginormous L, dude. That's a ginormous fucking L, dude.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard, coping and seething.
Speaking of super chats, Rapid Wolverine LCO 17 for 5 says, if AEW kicked the can, I don't feel bad. I say it as they did it to themselves. Yeah, I mean, I just feel bad for like a bunch of the wrestlers who should have got pushed and didn't, or who like really gave a lot to AEW just to really go unnoticed, and then now they're just on YouTube wrestling, and like they could do that in MLW. And I just feel bad because we're not going to get another billionaire who just pulls up and is like, fuck it, I made money off Bitcoins, man. Let's make wrestling great again and fucking book this shit where it's like, and has connections where it's like you can take it to the WWE level. Like Tone could have took it to the WWE level in the first couple fucking years. He had it. He had all the ingredients, dude. So we're just not going to see that again. But it's good. People have, and it's also good MLW exists and TNA's got money now and shit. It's good. It's good. It's good for everybody, but it's not good for Tone and his pockets. And he just, according to everyone, he doesn't care about that. So maybe I shouldn't care either. And I don't feel bad either. And it'll just be funny for the fucking sickos. The Bucks would get squashed by the Mulkey brothers. AEW can't even run their current YouTube channel efficiently. This is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Their YouTube game is... this would have been a good idea if they had 1 billion subscribers like WWE, or even 500 million after fucking grinding and making their YouTube like a big prominent part of what they do. But Tone was anti that. He just wanted to do pay-per-view and television. Okay, you fucked up. So let's get into, guys, we do have WWE news. We also have breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Jericho. Never forget. Never forget that Tony Khan funded that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into a little segment here called Ratings Wars. So, guys, this is a new segment called Ratings Wars. We go over all the companies' ratings, just all in one little segment, so we can just compare them. And so we take a look at All In London, right? We're going to start with AEW here because we were just talking about them. All In London, tickets distributed 23,596. It was their worst first day. This has been their worst pre-sale ever. You take a look at the thing here and the ticket map here, and look, dude, this shit is like 2/3. This shit is 2/3 empty, man. So far. And the last time they were there, they only did 53,900, so 54,000. Total number of seats is like 94,000. It is a long ways away. It's not even set up for 40,000. I bet you after Tone papers the fuck out of it, this will be one of the most papered houses in the history of wrestling. I bet they'll do like 40,000. They'll announce some kayfabe fake fucking 40-some thousand number, but it'll be less than 50,000. And that just goes to show you, like, point blank, the YouTube isn't hot. When people interview your wrestlers, it isn't hot unless they're talking about WWE. When people interview Tone, it doesn't even get shitloads of views unless they think it'll be funny. Like the Vince Russo thing it was just a car wreck waiting to happen, or they were going to press him, or like people were curious. When Tone goes on Ariel Helwani, when he goes on like MVP's pod, people don't really give a fuck. When he goes on like these other random pods, people don't care. When Will Ospreay goes on these random pods, they get no fucking views. When he does them and he talks about WWE, people clip it, and then that's what blows up. And it's fucking sad. And you can sit there and say, oh, AEW is so hot, and we're about to look at their shitty rating. And then Dave Meltzer, we're actually going to get some flutes in the chat for this segment here too today, but Dave Meltzer kind of copes about it because Nielsen is just a stupid fucking number anyways. What isn't a stupid number is the fucking attendance at all of these shows. Now, has Dynamite done a couple 4K, 5K roughly, 3K? Yeah, they've been doing that a little more. Was the TV ratings doing well? Yeah, someone pointed out that since March, though, it's actually slowly been declining. And then since Darby Allin won the title, it just sort of fell off a fucking cliff. So with All in London here, dude, I don't even know why they would do this show here. I really don't even, I don't understand it. And again, if all of these Paul Walter Hausers, when WrestleMania is in whatever, why not just pull up to All In then in Wembley? What if fucking WWE in 2028 goes to London? Nick Khan's teasing something. Oh, wait till you hear what we do. What if they go there? Is WrestleCon going to follow them there? What if they go to Canada with WrestleMania? Is WrestleCon and all that shit going to follow them there and all the indie shows? Probably. You won't hear complaints, but because it's Saudi, they're like, oh, we need to do a new thing. Well, why don't you just pull up to where All in London is? Because the people won't be there. I highly doubt people from all over the world are going to travel to this All In. Like, yes, there will be some. Nothing's absolute. I'm just speaking in general, though. Right? And Dave was just talking about WrestleMania, and he's like, I have friends in Europe, and none of them went to this Mania. They all told me. And so what about this All In? Like, is this just going to be all people from the fucking UK and around Europe who mostly pull up, and then people from the rest of the world and the rest of Europe rather too? Some French guy's like, oh, this shit stinks. This shit stinks like fromage. So yeah, hopefully they sell a butt fuck load of tickets, and you know that they're going to pad it up a little bit. So AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday night garnered its lowest audience. Oh, yeah, and I give the all-in attendance a trombone flop, okay? And for good stuff, I ring the bell. I forgot to tell you guys. So AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday night garnered its lowest audience and 18 to 49 rating since January when Nielsen updated their methodology. The show faced competition from the NBA and NHL playoffs. Cry me a river. You know, like fucking that's always going to be the case. Dynamite averaged 596K viewers, down 3% from last week with a .08, down 20% in the key demo. Obviously, people watching basketball and shit. Per Programming Insiders, always, these numbers do not include the HBO Max simulcast. Brian, the 18 to 49 rating was tied with 3 other episodes as the lowest this year, while the audience was the 4th lowest so far this year. Dynamite ranked number 9 in the 18 to 40. This is what I mean when everyone's like, Dynamite's back, buddy. They had it with MJF, seemingly. Then they fuck it up and they squander it. Because ultimately, why aren't they doing just over 600K and people going, okay, that's not so bad. Like this year already, 3 episodes as the lowest key demo and the 4th lowest episode already. So they had 3 other worse episodes than this of Dynamite ratings this year already. And we're in May and people are sitting there talking about their back and all this shit. It's like, come on, man. So year over year, Dynamite was down 5%, while the 18 to 49 was down 50%. So Chaman Lee, like, are we really up? Are we really crushing it? Is the attendance up a little bit? Okay. Is Nielsen flip-flopping on how they do shit? Yeah. I wasn't going to cope about it then. I'm not going to go, oh, well, Nielsen fucking... It should be a higher rate. I don't do that for SmackDown. I just accept what it is, guys. Okay? So anybody out there who's like, Phil's just an E-Drone and if it was AEW, blah, blah, blah. Nope. I don't do the whole Nielsen cope. It's just whatever number they decide to put out, they had some methodology behind it and everyone's accepting this fucking number. This is just not a good number. Oh, well, if Nielsen didn't switch the shit up, it would have been, what, 610,000? Gives a shit, man. Like a trombone flop, okay, of a rating right there. And again, you got Darby as the world champ. You could have had MJF. He's just there now, fucking losing to Kevin Knight. Tone doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't have any clue. He has no fucking clue what he's doing. Holy shit. And then there's just all these title matches. Where's the fucking pay-per-view, bud? Save some of that shit. Build up to that shit. Holy. So again, this guy follows up, right? And he goes, Chris Batatos. Acuna Batatos. It means Tone should be worried for the rest of his days with WBD. So also teens 0.01, male teens 0.01. That's AEW, guys. Okay. Okay. In comparison, just recently, Impact teens 0.08, male teens 0.16. Oh,
he had Cuervo with him the whole time too.
TNA's the sauce. It's the truth. It's the bee's knees. It's the cat's pajamas. It's what's in, dude. It's what everybody's getting down with. It's jive. It's hip. It's fresh. It's funky. It's gnarly. It's tubular. Okay, dude? TNA is where it's at with the youngsters, right? So look at that, dude. This guy broke it down. Like, why aren't we talking about this? Isn't this important? Like what teenagers are watching and shit? The key demo. And I promise you, like Netflix looks at teen, male teen, girl teen. They look at every age range and everything you could fucking put down. They're looking at it. So teens 0.08 to a 0.01, male teens 0.01 to a 0.16 for TNA 2-0 in those departments with the teens, with the barely legals, dude. They're no. It's all good. If you're Marty Scurll, I think it's all good in his book. But no, sicko jokes aside, though, this guy here says seems like Nielsen made another change. Well, actually, let's look at this chart here. Snowmanhausen points out how Dynamite has been on a steady decline since March, but has dropped like a stone since Darby became champion. So again, we go back to March and they were at a 765K and a 0.14. Then a 730K with a 0.15 the next week. Then a 654K with a 0.14 the next week. Then a 710K, so a little increase with a 0.12, but then a lower key demo. This is why you can't trust Nielsen, and this is what Dave should be pointing out. If this was Netflix, he'd be like, oh, well, the overall rating's up, but the key demo's down. That's fishy. Something's not right. It should be more if it's AEW, but if it's Netflix and Raw, it should be less. You guys notice how he does that? So, like, you know, a 654K with a 0.14 in the key demo. Then the next week you do 710K with a 0.12 in the key demo. That looks fishy as fuck. I'll accept it, but like Dave would sit there. If that was Raw, he'd go, it's actually less. They're playing funny with the numbers, Brian. And we're about to talk about Dave. There's a reason I keep bringing him up here because Raj Giri felt some. But when it's AEW, he's something's fishy going on. The ratings are too low. You know, it's weird how it fluctuates like that. So 617K with a 0.10 and then which is like a huge fall off, like 100K less people. And then a 596K with a 0.08 this last week. I mean, it's been just going down. Don't bring me down, 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 down. Don't bring me down. So again, this is just an abysmal number. And this guy here says, seems like Nielsen made another change. And Raj Giri says, even if they made another change, this is one of the lowest rated shows in 18 to 49 show history. Boom. Like you can, here's the thing, even if there's a change or, the Fast Nationals don't reflect the real numbers. Yeah, but you can look at trends. So like, let's say the Fast Nationals are typically up, like typically 20% higher, give or take. Like maybe your range is like they're typically 16 to 22% higher than what the actual number is. Then you can sit there and go, okay, the real number, it'll be 15% viewed, 15% lower than the fucking whatever. You can make that estimation. That's what people do. It's just tracking numbers. They're objective. You can't argue this shit. It's just science. It's math. Math is a really cool thing. Dun, 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 dun. Dude, I watched Anaconda with Jack Black and Paul Rudd. What a fucking, I give that shit a trombone. You know what I'm saying? What a fucking stinker of a comedy movie. You know? But yeah, so you look at the key demo and it's like, regardless of that, like let's say magically it was actually 610, then the key demo was still would have been what, a 0.09 or a 0.10. That's still less than they did when they like all year so far. So Raj is pointing this out in show history, including the shows when Nielsen made the change from September 25 to January. This episode did a 0.08. Only one show ever for its regular time slot did lower than a 0.07. Assuming there was a Nielsen change, I assume there was, but no credible media outlet has confirmed it. It's fucking Dave Meltzer fucking X-Files here, dude. Making shit up again. And he goes, the rating should still be above last week when the change would have taken place, especially with last week being live on the West Coast. But they were down 20% and doing under 600K. So yes, I think Darby as champ is a part of the drop. No shit. Shout out Raj. So this is what Dave Meltzer had to say here in response to AIR Gold, grifter on grifter on grifter on grifter. Ladies and gentlemen, put some flutes in the chat because it is time for Dave Meltzer's dumb moment of this show. Brought to you by Jose Cuervo.
He had a Cuervo with him the whole time too.
So AIR Gold says Dynamite ratings 596K. It's lowest since February. Ratings across wrestling were always going to dip during this period with NBA and NHL playoffs happening. In AEW's case, it's just so happened to coincide with MJF dropping the belt to Darby Allin. Shocking timing, but not really. If you ignore external factors, it's easy to spin it as, see, this is why you shouldn't have taken the title off Max. And that's unfortunate for Darby because that's likely the logic people online and probably within the company will use to argue for taking the belt off of him. Okay. All right, buddy. Dave Meltzer goes, Nielsen changed again, AR Gold. it's except it's not it's like the Cuervo. It's not the playoffs as the key reason on Darby. It's a new system. Shock the system, Brian. Not that the playoffs, it's like it's just the playoffs, NBA, basketball didn't hurt some. Of course they did. So I can't make sense of it either, guys. He said there a bunch and stuff. I don't know. He's just saying not that the playoffs didn't hurt some. Of course they did. But Nielsen flipped up again. It's not the playoffs as the key reason or Darby. It's a new system, man. It's always a fucking excuse. It's always an excuse. Then Raj goes, and yet you kept comparing Nielsen ratings for Dynamite only when they are positive for AW, plus non-existent max numbers to Raw Netflix streaming numbers, even though Nielsen has shown how unreliable they are over the past year, dude. And it's true. It's absolutely true. And so we compare them to, well, Collision's on tonight, Peoria. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, in Illinois. And their setup was for 2,900, and they distributed 2,600 tickets. So again, I give Raj Giri's felting of Dave a bell ring. Absolutely, without question, we ring the bell for that one. But then a trombone flop again for this attendance and just the complete and utter stupidity of AIR Gold. And then, of course, Dave responding to AIR Gold. You guys, I've spoken to AIR Gold in person. He's like fucking not fully well. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like not a guy you should be like, oh yeah, I'm going to respond to this guy who's just making fucking excuses that I'm going to piggyback off of. Dave, do better, man. So Raj Giri here breaks down these ratings because NXT did a 541 and a 0.07. Before we even get into Raj's breakdown, trombone flop for NXT. Okay, it's a trombone flop. So 541.07. Of course, they are rebuilding. It's an episode where I don't think people expected Evil and all these people to show up. Random people, I call them. I don't want to diss them, but I don't think they expected people to show up. But NXT is in a rebuilding phase. This isn't like a fake rebuilding phase like Dave Meltzer. They're rebuilding. Well, who? It's all the same guys wrestling. It's all the same guys sitting at home. What are we talking about? Still the same shitty LED boards, the same shitty rainbow color thing going on that, there's no identity, bunch of titles everywhere. The fucking wrestlers are wrestling. MJF's defending the world title on the indies. Nothing feels special. Nothing feels sacred. So what are we doing here? What's the rebranding? What's the fucking, what's the whole rebuild? Like, are we seeing it? NXT, we're seeing it. All these people show up. Will Cruz, Lizzie Rain, Evil. All these call-ups fucking happen. All these cuts happen too. And the cuts happen because why? Ethan Page being on the show. The ratings are going to be the same if Aleister Black or Ethan Page are on the fucking show. Okay, guys? Or I guess Ricky Saints will say because he's on SmackDown. And they pay Ricky Saints way less. So when people say like, oh, it's because of age, it's because of this. No, it's like the UFC. Okay, it's like the UFC. They're fucking cutting people and they're not renewing some of these deals and they don't care to because there's someone younger, cheaper, and it's just the brand that sells more than, and again, these are old criticisms, but you're seeing it more than ever. Okay. Again, Napoleon Bonaparte's documentary, TKO did this in MMA, dude. You see people are getting paid nothing to fight. And you have some of the biggest stars in the UFC like, holy fuck, why is this guy getting paid this? Like I've had so many fights in the UFC, and you see fighters who are like, dude, I don't get paid no different if I'm on the White House card or the whatever the fuck. And they fast track a lot of guys. You see a lot of guys in UFC now. The cards are riddled with, one of the criticisms is like, there's a bunch of like 6-0 guys fighting, or like you're 7-1, you're on the fucking main card, or like you're the main prelim fight and shit. And it's like, what's going on? What happened? I don't know. It just seems like they are okay, like pushing people and trying to market certain people for their antics while just drawing off of the name brand UFC. And it's kind of backfired on them a little bit too. But with NXT, we're seeing a real rebuild, and that's with the call-ups, and that's with all of these new people they're bringing in. And again, it's just cheaper for them to operate, the ratings. So in a business sense, I'll defend them. It makes fucking sense. But in like as like a fan, it's kind of shitty. You know, I want to see all my favorite wrestlers doing their thing, and I don't think they're going to add a third show. Maybe if they absorbed like an AEW or something, like maybe if they're like, hey, we'll just buy it so we own these contracts and we own their library and shit. And then they make like a third show or something that's like a main WWE show, Raw, SmackDown, and what? What would you call it? Let me know in the comments or the chat. But either way, though, Raj Giri breaks this down. This past Tuesday tied its lowest audience. Oh, yeah, the point I was making, we'll see like in the weeks to come whether this Lizzie reign takes off and whether like, oh shit, evil really makes a difference and stuff like that. And again, it's like TNA. You got to give it a few weeks. Like, don't just expect Lizzie reign to be and Will Cruz is just drawing fucking Obafemi numbers. But again, if Nielsen adjusted, so then I want to hear Dave cope about how NXT should be higher than it is. Or whatever the fuck, you know, like I don't want to hear cope. We're just going to accept the 541. All right. NXT has been shitting the bed a bit. But is it really shitting the bed when you're objectively in a rebuild phase? Okay. That's my overarching point through my long babble there. So Raj Giri says this past Tuesday tied its lowest audience in 18 to 49 ratings so far this year. NXT averaged 541, down 8% with a 0.07 rating, down 30. Oof. The audience was tied, but again, playoffs. That's where when you show me the key demo, you're like 18 to 49. The playoffs are on, so like yes, that's gonna fuck up everything. You know, the audience, like any show, is Dancing with the Stars on or whatever. I'm sure it hurts that shit too. The audience was tied with the 310 show as the lowest of the year, while the 18 to 49 was tied with 317. And it's so funny because I'll say something about like AEW numbers, and then you always get a sicko like, tell me about NXT numbers. And it's like, yeah, they're shit. I fucking have said it. You know what I mean? Like, we're not all tribalists like you fucking sickos. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of us are in good faith and we're just talking about the shit. You don't have to come here crying. I know it's bad, yeah, but it's like, how bad is it though? Because they're launching this ESPN thing. It's actually kind of genius how okay, let's call everyone up. We're going to shock introduce people. I could see them doing that a few times too. Like, I'm not saying 4 people every show are going to debut, but Shawn Michaels was like, let's throw a hand grenade in there. So maybe leading up to the ESPN shit, they're just going to try and hype it up. Big debuts, fucking big matchups. We get Evil versus Gargano or some shit down there, which is a big matchup for NXT, you know, something like that. And then you go into the ESPN era. Like, that's a big deal for them. And you're like introducing this kind of new era of NXT and stuff, you know. This could be the end of the Platinum era, even, for all we know. And they might go back to their roots or whatever, but I think they'll handle it well. And again, like, it's almost doing the same, 50,000 less viewers than Dynamite. And apparently Nielsen's lying, and all of this should be more. So keep the same energy. That's all I'm saying. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Ratings Wars. So, is AAA on? How long has it been on? Did it just start? I need to. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to pull up AAA. Monkey Balls for 5 says, is this the momentum sickos are always bragging about? Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. The momentum is in the attendance and the ratings, point blank. Ratings Wars might be one of my new favorite fucking segments. Well, it's the new segment, so of course it is, Phil. Thank you, Phil, in my head. You're right. You're always right. Okay, so yes, let's go here. Okay, we got AAA on. Yeah, but you're right, dude. Ooh. Bud Light ads. I need a cold beer. That's what that's telling me. It's God telling me we need cold beer. Is this a momentum Sickles role he's bragging about? Thank you so much. Sean Anigans for 5 says, for how long is a new system new for? Exactly. That's what I mean. And then Nielsen keeps switching the system up, allegedly, like every fucking 2 weeks, every 3 months or whatever. So I'm just over it. I'm over coping about it. You're never going to find me coping about the fucking Nielsen. I'm just going to take them for what they are and then compare them. And now with NXT, we can do the invisible rating too. Well, how many on ESPN Unlimited are watching? We don't know. It's 500 million. And then the HBO Max thing is obsolete. So, what's chat saying? Sassy Gill's just laughing over here. Gargano is not there for the last time. He has not been there since he lost to Miles Bourne at TakeOver. Yeah, but what is he going to do, dude? What do you mean for the last time? So he did, like, they announced it. It's his last time here. You know, I could just see him like wrestling down there, wrestling evil. Like because think about it. Sami Zayn was like Shinsuke's opponent just because at the first TakeOver. Now, Tony D can play that role. He can have a banger. And obviously Evil's going to get that belt, but I don't see them just like doing it right away. Maybe, but maybe NXT waits and they send like a Gargano down there. Who's another guy? Let's brainstorm. Who should he face, right? Like, it could just be Tony D, but like, who's someone on the main roster? Because I believe Sammy was on the main roster. They had already called him up, but they just sent him down there for a special match versus Nakamura, right? So wouldn't Gargano be the right guy? And he still has a contract. So I think Gargano versus Evil, since he's been down there kicking it, and like, what is he going to plank on SmackDown? They're good, you know? Evil versus Gargano in a banger, and then winner gets Tony D or something like that at the next one or whatever the fuck. Just someone who could work Evil without having to touch him a bunch of times, you know? I think that makes sense. They're both mini Vikingos. They are, dude. He just did a fucking mini Vikingo, just did a diving. How do I explain this? A diving crucifix driver to the outside. Like, literally, I don't know. Is that the right description? He like dove out of the ring, caught Vikingo in like a tilt-a-whirl crucifix driver on the outside. It was like the craziest shit I've ever seen, dude. Triple A's nuts. Triple A's nutty. What else is chat? I think wrestling is ruining wrestling right now, and that's why I kicked your leg from your leg. Brett screwed Brett. Brett screwed your leg from your leg, Brett. That's why I like JCW. Are the gimmicks over the top? Yes, but in a good way. It's just fun and free. Yeah, I mean, maybe that will turn people on to AEW. They can be the next JCW if they go to YouTube because it's free. Yeah. Dave is lying his ass off. Nielsen held off making any new changes till August. I mean, yeah, no one. That's what I mean. It could all be a lie too. Like Raj Giri pointed that out, which is super funny. That should be the conversation. Oh, Dave said it. Well, no one said it. So fuck that. You know, who cares? Like, who cares if he's just saying that? So, anyways, the ratings are a race to the bottom. Not really a war anymore. Between AEW and TNA, it's a ratings war. Absolutely. And then AEW is just on its own island. NXT. Because here's the thing, dude. Next year or later this year, when they increase again, is it because the ratings are dead, man? No, I just think like Nielsen and all this shit, what matters is a combination of everything. I've said this a billion times, but what matters is a combination of everything. YouTube hits, fucking TikTok views, impressions or whatever, but like true views. I don't know how you time that. Your retention rate, your fucking, all of your replay ability, your fucking click-through rate, all of these things that matter like on the internet because your TV is just internet now. That's what matters more. And, dude, what was I watching? I watched some old shit, but it was recorded. God, I forget, but the old commercials were airing like on this old recording of a fucking thing. Like I looked up this show and the commercials were still in the show, like on this thing I was watching on YouTube or whatever. Would have been Daily Motion or something, I forget, but dude, like most of the shows were ads. You got to think about it. There was like 18 to 22 minutes of fucking show in a half-hour block. You were getting so much commercials during shows too, and it's so funny seeing people complain about that shit. And it's like YouTube, they're like, oh, there's a 90-second unskippable ad. It's like, yeah, dude, I don't know, but I grew up when like you would legit like a big chunk of the show, there'd be like a half-hour block. You'd get 18 minutes of a show, like 12 minutes of commercials with throughout it. I mean, like it ain't so bad, you know? So shout out JCW. Hopefully AEW can make money on YouTube and shit. I just don't know how that happens. Okay, guys, I'm going to end this poll because we're going to talk about WWE news here. We're going to stop this poll. So let's see here. JC Mateo, 36% of you guys thought they should have kept Jeff Cobb. If they could have kept anybody. 27% said Kofi Kingston, 18% said Xavier and Tonga Loa. Now, I agree. Jeff Cobb is somebody I think they could have had a run with, but like just on his own, he didn't even need to be a part of that Floodline shit. But here's the thing. And some people might say, oh, come on now, Phil. That's not very fair.
Come on now, Eric.
But I think he seemed washed. Like he went to WWE and just seemed kind of washed. We're going to talk about it here. Like he just seemed as though he was just getting kind of chunky and not really doing much. And yeah, like, see, you have people, somebody on Twitter, like post this screen grab from Nielsen. He's right. Talking about Dave. Yeah, we know he changed the numbers or whatever, or Nielsen did. We know that. You stupids, you fucking tards. Everybody knows that Nielsen keeps flip-flopping around, but that doesn't matter. Okay? Like, we're talking about Dave and the merit of fucking how he covers things, not fucking him just stating some shit. Like, what people are pointing out is like he's flawed in the way he fucking represents WWE and represents AEW and shit like that. Who cares? Yeah, everyone knows Nielsen's fake, Billboard's fake. All this shit's fake. Everybody knows. Everyone knows, okay? This is like old fucking early 2000s conspiracy bros, okay? We know everything's fucking made up and everything's a lie. No, but listen. We're all black-pilled here at PWT. No, but listen, like, it doesn't change a goddamn thing, right? You just got to read Raj Giri's tweet. Just use your common sense with this shit. Like I said, Dave is coping and seething. Oh, yeah, that's what I tweeted out. I'm like, Dave's coping and seething. And it's like, he's coping. It doesn't matter. I never brought up, oh, they didn't change the fucking ratings or whatever, how they conduct them. Yeah, they've done that like 4 times already this year. They do it once a month. Hello. Okay, let's actually get into like WWE stuff, guys. It's been a fun ass show. And again, hit like, subscribe, all of that good shit. Hit heart, retweet this stuff, and check out my videos. Like, guys, I've been doing these I don't call them video essays, but it's just what I do, but like with edits and shit like that in them. And it's not just clips from the show or whatever. So if you're a fan of like PWT live show, and you guys want to check out my videos on just like other shit, I have a video on Anna Jay and Zelina Vega versus Sean Ross Sapp coming out. And yeah, check those out. They fucking doing really good views wise and numbers wise and shit. It's actually crazy. I didn't expect them to do really good like that. Fuck yeah, almost rules. So yeah, that's my plug there. Go and check those out. I did one on Paul Walter Hauser and Tony Khan on the people who were released, and I have another one on Kenny Omega coming out. I just got to work on it. I got to finish this Sapp one. I got to add this clip I saw of Jack Perry. He's like doing this new gimmick where he's like, fuck you to people. And that might be a work, him going at Sapp. We'll see. But anyways, let's get into, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for WWE news. I'm just watching Omos here, guys. Give me a second, okay? And nordvpn.com/ProWrestleTimes. Damn, I love the commentary. And I love that Omos, just the reaction to him. Wagner's about to die. We're just watching Triple A right now. Oh, shit, and Omos cracked with a chair. So that's Wagner's brother, Galeo? Is that what they're saying his name is? Or Vallejo? Galeo or Vallejo? Okay, you can tell Undertaker, like, I feel like Omos sold that perfectly, don't you guys? He, like, didn't really sell the fucking chair shots, but he kind of turned around, like, you two sons of bitches. Then they just kind of knock him out of the ring, and he's like, fuck it. But he wasn't, like, overly selling. And these are some big boys right here for Lucha. Okay. Awesome, man. They're doing some good shit here in AAA, dude. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into some WWF news. So, before we get to the big names who have recently left WWE, XQC to viewers calling WWE cringe while watching iShow Speed, and he goes, WWE is not cringe at all. And it fucking isn't, man. Some of the Kevin Nealon loves wrestling. No, some of the best artists, though, appreciate wrestling. Lin-Manuel Miranda. Which way does it go? What's the order of his name? God damn it. That dude, he did like Hamlet or whatever the fuck, didn't he? For Disney. And he does a bunch of other shit. He's won like a Tony, an Emmy, a fucking Grammy, a fucking an Oscar. He's won like one of everything, you know? So who else, man? There was that dude in the Hogan doc who was just like, I don't even know what he's like, a writer. And I think maybe I forget his fucking name, but he was like just waxing poetic about pro wrestling and the nuance of it. ESPN. Okay. They did a study and they found that WWE fans are the highest IQ. Just saying. Okay, we're going to pat ourselves on the back here, guys. Okay.
Poor people don't like AEW.
So here is XQC, who's like a ginormous kick streamer, just streamer in general, wherever he goes. And he's telling his chat to shut the fuck up and defending his boy Speed here.
He's washed. Bro. WWE is not cringe at all. Like, I don't know why you would think it's cringe. I feel like you get mad that it's not real fighting, so you get really upset that you feel like you're being lied to, and you completely disregard like the amount of effort and art that it is, and like the intricacy of what the maneuvers are. Like, you're just stupid. He's washed.
Hell yeah, dude. XQC fucking rules. Shout him out. And so, speaking of like our artistry, okay, Stephen A. Smith. ESPN sources are reportedly pleased and enthusiastic about Stephen A. Smith potentially being involved in WWE's partnership. And it's just like, no, man, the UFC tried this and it was an epic fucking fail. And he became a literal laughingstock. And then he dropped a video of him hitting pads, like boxing and hitting pads, and he got laughed to oblivion because it was so goddamn goofy. And whoever he pays to train with, they're just taking his money because he's a dumb fuck.
Your knee to obliterate.
So we don't need Stephen A. Smith in fucking storylines, okay? Now, one guy, or let's read this. ESPN is said to be enthusiastic about the possibility of Stephen A. Smith getting involved in WWE. Now, if this is the dirt sheets blowing it out of proportion and they're saying it's storylines, okay, that's one thing. But if they are just getting him involved as like an analyst or like before the PLE sitting at the desk, that would be good for him. I'm down with that. But as far as like what the rumors are, it's going to be in a storyline. We don't want that. But even though they tried to use him as a UFC analyst, he just didn't know anything about the sport. And so people laughed at him. And people will sniff him out if he doesn't catch on with WWE. And he might just think it's easy because it's WWE and people think it's a clown show. But there's an expected payoff for his involvement and pitch for this summer. Nick Khan encouraged Smith to get involved with WWE. So Nick Khan, just ask your buddies at UFC and TKO how that worked out for them. Speaking of which, here is the WWE talent relations team in our latest TKO spotlight.
If anyone wants to work in talent relations,
so here's John Cone.
It engulfs you.
Our phones go off every
Aggie Dent, cousin of Harvey Dent, Two-Face.
day, 24 hours a day, in the middle of the night. Doesn't matter if you're sleeping.
You're just kind of thrown into this.
Zachary Maxwell Friedman.
You're just kind of thrown into this world of good chaos. Talent is the lifeblood of WWE, and talent relations is the department through which all areas of the company can gain access to our superstars, from production rehearsals.
JR's like, give me a fucking break, King.
To media interviews, to community events, and beyond.
All the superstars are so different.
Talent relations. We're really cool. Aren't we fucking cool? Talent relations.
We have to manage each talent's schedule. Part of that is knowing how to relate to each talent individually.
Everybody has good days, everybody has bad days, so communicating with them is different every single week at the shows, photo shoots, content shoots, TV commercials and things. It's always something new.
Some talent need a little extra care. Other talent just need to know what the facts are, what they're going to be doing.
Who asked for this? Why is this a fucking thing? What is this shit? Now we got fucking corporate assholes marking out for themselves. I guess it's just to meet our team here at TKO. It's just cringy. God damn it.
From day to day, we kind of become like this sense of safe space for them, whether they can come to us and we're there for them and they know that they can.
A safe space? They're woke.
Trust us. That's something that's super important. It's actually one of my favorite parts of the job is knowing that we're there for them.
After we pull off Royal Rumble week, a show in Saudi Arabia, or WrestleMania week, it's just the feeling of like, wow, look at what we helped pull off and how much the public and the fans loved it.
Knowing everything you did to make the show go on and that the talent trusted you to do this, getting all the talent there and getting them out safely, like that's just something that I know for me is the most rewarding. We're constantly thinking about what's next for us, what's next for the talent that we need to speak with. It's just go, 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 whatever's next, do the next thing, and whatever it takes to get it done.
What does he even mean by that last part? So there you go, guys. That's who's like in charge of talent relations and whatnot. So we move along here. And speaking of talent being managed, Roman Reigns, he is managing to our tribal chief. We acknowledge him. He is managing to make a bunch of dates here.
Acknowledge me.
So May 4, he'll be in Omaha, May 11 in Knoxville, May 18 in Greensboro, May 25 in Columbus, Ohio, Colombo. June 1 in Turin, Italy, June 8 in Paris, France, June 15 in Baltimore, and June 22 in London. And yeah, he's there all summer long, like the McRib or like the fucking Grimace Shake, right? He's there all summer long. And I think, yeah, he'll probably take off after SummerSlam a little bit again. But yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't put Jacob. I don't think it'll happen at Backlash. I think he'll retain at Backlash. Then something will cause like a rematch or like a tribal warfare or some sort of shit. between the Usos and, because you have right now you have Solo and the Usos versus, like, I guess who's remaining? Tala, Tama, and Solo. And then you have Roman's not there on SmackDown. He's only doing the Raw Netflix shows. But Fatu's a SmackDown guy anyways. So, again, the brand split, the draft, the hard split, it just doesn't really matter. People are like, should we get rid of the split? There isn't really one. There hasn't been for really a long time. They should kind of go back to, like, a truly hard split. I think it would help the shows. But I digress. And Roman will be there. TKO's doing a good job taking care of him and his private entries and all of these things. Former WWE NXT star Mark Kofi and former NXT UK star Shay Samuels were a part of WWE's recent tryouts in the UK. So they were at the old NXT UK PC. And it would be cool if that came back. I know that scene got fucked up by a bunch of the speaking out stuff, but it would be awesome. Like, again, with TNA, you have Lucha Libre on fire. Noah, hopefully it starts catching on and starts going crazy in Japan. And it gets a bunch of heat the way that AAA is garnered, like in America as well. And maybe the UK scene, again, can come back. It doesn't even got to be NXT UK. I know that they work with some feds in, like, Germany and shit like that. And in Europe, so they're kind of getting back to scouting people out there and whatnot, and they have been for a while, but NXT UK was dope. And some people argue it hurt the scene. A bunch of people argue it didn't. It only helped. These guys seem pumped to be back there, you know? And the Kofi brothers, they just get work everywhere, man. These guys are working everywhere. You got to respect that. You got to love that. And so in other Performance Center NXT news, talent Jessica Bogdanov was named the Unknown and debuted this look at tonight's NXT live event in Lakeland, Florida. Now, I'm down with this weirdo space alien species, fucking like 90s sexy science fiction movie, kind of scary, whatever alien movie. I'm down with that look. The Unknown, that is such like a Territory Days fucking gimmick. Like, you know, it's like a crazy name. I'm surprised they didn't put her under a mask. Shout her out. I don't know shit about her. I don't know her background stuff, but I just thought it was funny that they named someone the Unknown and then she jobbed to Lizzie Rain. So there you go. We talked about Jacob Fatu a little bit. WWE has introduced another mystery caller storyline. So on SmackDown, Jacob Fatu, who's just in tremendous shape, guys. He's in really good shape. And yeah, there's someone on the phone with him. And then he ran into Hobbs, and Hobbs was like, because you always wonder what's going to happen when they cross paths, but they're from the same area, I believe, right? And they know each other from like way back in the day, I guess, before either of them made it. So they run into each other, and like Hobbs kind of gives Fatu a shove, but then they kind of like, it's like a respect thing though. And he's like, all right, you know, and they're like, we're from the same place, whatever. And then you're in a situation where Hobbs can team up with Fatu to take on Tala and Solo as well. And then you obviously have the Usos and Fatu versus the MFTs, the remaining MFTs. So they're kind of setting shit up there, and it's working. Crazy. We're not going to get Usos versus GODs one time at like a WrestleMania. I always thought that was like a WrestleMania level if they built it up correctly. Haku's kids versus fucking Rikishi's kids, and just the history there and shit. I don't know, man. I think that could have been something, but fuck me. We're going to talk about those releases in a sec. And in big news here, and big news, because this actually is pretty big news. Now, I recorded a podcast with a gentleman called Billy Boy that's coming out. Okay, guys? It's going to come out. He was in Las Vegas for Mania when he called me, and we had pretty much, it wasn't even really a pod. It was just fucking, it was just like a chat sesh, you know, more than anything. And so I'm going to drop it. And he also on his show, after he did PWT, he jumped on his show, which I think you can find on his podcast feed. And he talked about how there was an assault at the airport, and he said that he talked to the guy. And this is way before TMZ got the fucking story or it broke or anything like that. And he said he talked to the guy. So go and listen to his pod. He's only on like Apple Pods. So maybe I'll find a way. Yeah, I'll download the audio here or something. And we'll play it from his show. Maybe I'll just get him back on to talk about it. But he actually talked about this like right after he got back from WrestleMania, or like the night after whatever night that happened. And he said that at the airport, he talked to the dude that CM Punk like slapped or like backhand chopped and fucking pushed. And then all of a sudden TMZ runs with like an actual phone call to the police. So, cause I said to him, I was like, dude, is there any video evidence? Like, why isn't there video evidence of that incident? Like, I DM'd him and asked him that. I'm like, well, are you sure about that, dude? Is this guy not just talking shit? Because everybody had phones everywhere, Like, why isn't there proof of that? But there's proof of the hotel situation. If like people were swarming him at the airport, you think someone would have caught that on camera too. But dude, the police call comes out. Okay, so let's take a listen. This is courtesy of TMZ Sports. And I just wanted to throw that out there, though. Like Billy Butty, a controversial guy in the IWC, but he did say, he was saying that shit on his show that this went down. And like, I didn't even believe him. I was like, there's no way that also wasn't caught on camera. And then this call came out and it's like, oh, fuck, man.
Sí, quería poner una denuncia.
I want to make a report.
Okay, what is the address?
¿A qué dirección?
Aquí lo que es el motel, el NGM.
En Las Vegas.
Okay, and what happened?
Lo que pasó que estaba aquí en el lobby esperando a lo que viene siendo la superestrella de la lucha libre WWE.
So the guy needs a translator, right? And so Billy Butty was like, I used my Google Translator, right? And he's like, and I talked to the guy. And he even said on his thing, he's like, the guy sounded like kind of flamboyant. He's like, I think he may have been like of the gay persuasion, right? Of the possibly in that category, right? So he didn't want to make an assumption about what the guy's orientation was or whatever, but he's like, I use Google Translate and I talked to the guy, he's very specific. And then this phone call came out and I was like, no fucking way. So this could be true. And we know that he's backhanded that dude in the crowd the one time. He's slapping phones out of hands. Now, here's the thing. Punk was fully justified slapping the phone out of the hand. I think WWE, it's on them. Like, I don't even want to blame the hotel. Like Rhea Ripley, remember when Rhea Ripley was in Paris and she just got swarmed by people and there were like grown men like hugging her and shit? What if someone just ran up and did some crazy shit? What if one of those people was badass construction worker and he fucking, and then one of these wrestlers, Buddy Murphy, had to smack him out or something? Like, that could be a liability. You guys are big superstars and TKO wants to treat these guys. We see the TKO guys are marking out for themselves. We got fucking TKO charging up the ass, presenting to WWE and their superstars like these mega Hollywood fucking paying them out the ass, these big mega superstars and shit. And they're these global fucking icons and stuff. Well, they're becoming that somewhat. Rhea Ripley is in Paris trying to get an ice cream, trying to get a gelato or a crepe or some shit. And people just run up on her and fucking crowd her. Like, that shouldn't happen. You need to like treat her like a fucking Kardashian. She's got to have bodyguards and shit. And if she doesn't want that tough titty, you're a fucking megastar. We're paying you millions because you're making us millions. Otherwise, why are we paying you millions? So it's like, I don't know. We don't need to listen to this whole call, right? Like, it's a dude translating fucking this guy's snitching. CM Punk's a criminal. Lock him up. He assaulted this guy. But yeah, it's interesting shit here, man. It's interesting shit where Punk is like slapping phones out of hands and shit. Like, he shouldn't even be put in that situation. Now, if somebody, here's the thing, right? There's cameras everywhere. AJ Lee and Bailey, they embrace, they realize where they are, and then they like run off to kind of just get away from everyone. Punk's right there. Like, film him or just mind your own business. You already got footage of them. You don't need more, right? So they went away from everyone. Then you see the guy like walks up in their grill. Then Bailey's like, fuck off, dude. And then he fucking backs up and then he starts zooming in on her. Like, that is pesky ass behavior. That guy deserved to get a phone slapped out of his hand. I didn't see this situation at the airport, so I can't tell. But this guy was concerned enough to file a fucking police report. That's pretty wild, man.
Voy acercando hacia la superestrella
And
para
maybe he
pedir una...
just wants to sue CM Punk, but
Attention.
Not right now, thank you.
Okay, and the person that pushed you, what is his name?
Well, I just know that he's the fighter, CM Punk. I do not know the legal name.
Okay, is he white, black, Hispanic, or Asian?
White.
How old is he?
30, 40, maybe 50.
That's the thing with Punk. You don't know. You look at him, you're like, well, he could be 34 and aged, or he could be like 50 and look kind of young. You know, you can't really.
Like 175, approximately.
$1.75. Oh shit. Oh no, you're a fucking cruiserweight, buddy. Oh no.
Wrestling's not fake.
Oh no, they weighed him.
Okay, is he skinny, medium, or heavy build?
Heavy.
Okay, and where did this happen?
Inside the lobby of MGM Motel, here with black pants, black briefcase.
Is it a baseball cap that he's wearing?
No, it's like a gray hat with a frontal tag, like for the cold climate.
Okay, so like a winter hat?
He's like, it's CM Punk, bitch. You got Google? You know, CM Punk? Just Google CM Punk. Jesus Christ. I said he's with the WWE. His name's CM Punk. All right? If I can Google that guy and just picture him in a hat. All right? And that's what the fuck he's got going on. So yeah, that's pretty wild. And if he did that, send him to jail. No, I'm just joking. It's jokes here. This is a cartoon. It's a cartoon. Okay, we're going to get into the contract stuff. We're going to talk about everybody who left WWE or got fired, and just a couple other people that kind of went under the radar, I guess. Some stories that are kind of buried. I just want to hydrate here, drink a little coffee, check in with chat, see what chatters are chatting about. I'm getting an ad for this movie called Obsession. And I want to see this shit. It's where this dude like finds the perfect girl, but then she's real obsessed with him. And that's like every dude's dream is like, you want a girl that's really obsessed with you. You know what I mean? Like, as much as you're obsessed with them, because guys typically obsess more over women, right? So it's like a play on, oh, what if that goes scary and awry? And I like that because we don't see that. Usually it's like, what's that movie with Sydney Sweeney? The housemaid or the housemaid, I think, or the housekeeper or whatever. And fucking like the dude's a crazy asshole, you know, that's typically the way you see it. See these movies play out, but this one's like different and it looks like it's got a good horror vibe. I said horror, not horror vibe. Maybe a bit of that too, right? Not if she's 300 pounds. I doubt he even drinks. I'm cheating with my grandmother. Then yes. Ugh, sicko. Wacko segment. That sounds legit. You fucking Mark. Laredo Kid is paranoid. At least it's not Game Changer Wrestling. I mean, I like it where it was good before the pandemic. Now they're trying to be ECW, but failing without identity. Like, who is your audience? Damn. Tough talk for GC Dub, dude. Trying to get fired? Do you think Punk's trying to get fired? Yeah, that's a mystery. I wonder. I really do wonder. Guys, hit like and subscribe and all that good shit. Patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes. There's a bunch of like exclusive shit and watch alongs and stuff. Okay, let's get into some more stuff. So this is the real pressing WWE news that we all came to talk about. It's these releases. I've talked about it a little bit throughout the evening, AJ Lee has wrapped up her current run with the company, and as of now is not scheduled for anything in the near future. There is a belief it could be a while before she returns to action. So she kind of said that after the last pay-per-view there, WrestleMania. She's like, I'm done. It's not goodbye forever, but I'm done for now. And so, yeah, we'll see if she comes back for a few dates. I mean, that was always the plan. She wasn't scheduled to bump a bunch and whatnot. It's clearly just in those matches. She did a decent enough job. She gave some prestige to the IC title, like in the history books. AJ Lee's on that thing. And that's good. You know, the IC title compared to the US title, it's like definitely positioned as, oh, this is like the B women's title in all of WWE. I get one's on Raw and one's on SmackDown, but you have like the women's championships, or pardon me, because I guess the two world championships are like 1A and 1B. So the IC's definitely 2, and then fucking the US is definitely 3, right? If you're to like order them as far as like importance, whereas you could argue like the US title and the IC title for the men's are kind of on even footing as far as like mean impact, you know, right now at least, right? Like which one's elevated higher. Either way though, she put some prestige on that thing and it's going overlooked, but she ain't going to be around for a while either. Right? Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's really talking about this either, but Gavin O'Shea, a television producer who had been with WWE for 25 years, has announced on his LinkedIn that he has been unexpectedly fired after so much time at the company. He signed in 2001, dude. Holy shit. But you know what they say,
Sometimes
dude.
in life, you got to be a hoe.
And so Gavin O'Shea says, after 25 years, losing my job wasn't part of the plan. For those memorable 25 years at WWE, I've seen, heard, and experienced it all. After all, I grew up there, made friends, and learned by doing. Like many people, I tied a piece of my identity to what I do every day. So when that suddenly changed, it felt unsettling, humbling, and honestly a little scary. But here's what I'm learning in real time. Your job is something you do, not who you are. Setbacks can create space for better opportunities. Resilience isn't a buzzword. It's a skill you build through moments like this. I'm taking this time to reflect, reset, and refocus. The 3 Re's. Reflect, reset, and refocus on what I truly want in my next chapter. I'm incredibly grateful for the people I've worked with, the lessons I've learned, and the support I've already received. If you know of opportunities or just want to connect, I'd love to hear from you. Onward. I should hit him up to come on the pod. Shout him out. So again, they're releasing lots of people. It's talent cuts. It's, hey, we're going to renew you. We're not going to renew you. And people are wondering why. So some rumors came out that TKO isn't a fan of darker characters in WWE. And I'm like, dude, that's racist. I'm like, you are racist. You are racist. And then I read the quote and I was like, oh, fuck, you mean like, I call them spooky characters, right? So Mike Johnson of PWI says, I don't know if there's a pattern, but I can tell you there's been a story bouncing around among talents that someone in the TKO realm isn't a fan of the darker characters. And that's been the blame placed on why the Wyatts, Aleister Black, Zelina were all cut. One person even suggested to me that Undertaker being the American badass and not the dead man in appearances is proof of that outlook. See, no, because Undertaker said that that's what he wants to do, right? So I would maybe believe that if Undertaker didn't 1,000 times say, listen, me being done means the dead man thing's done, and I'm just like me. I'm just going to ride a Harley out to the ring and fucking induct people in the Hall of Fame because I work in WWE and I'm booking AAA and I'm a biker guy. That's really who I am, you know? So that's what that is, right? That theme song, hey, American Bad, that wouldn't be his song if he didn't just if he wasn't friends with Kid Rock. You guys understand? It's fucking Undertaker. So, and it's all good because Mike Johnson says this. And again, I talk about this in this video that's coming out with like Zelina Vega and Anna Jay and Sean Ross Sapp, where it's like the reason why Mike Johnson, people don't just hate his guts, is because of the way he presents his news. And if you say he's full of shit, he doesn't have a spurg out on you. I mean, he did block me, but he was going through it that day. But he doesn't have like a spurg out on you and jump in your DMs and call you and want to fight or fucking have a Dave Meltzer 4-day crybaby meltdown that doesn't make any sense, where he's being a fucking hypocrite and condescending and saying you need to read and listen every fucking tweet, have the bell turned on for every fucking tweet he's ever put out, and read every Observer and fucking read every tweet, or else you don't know what the fuck, or listen to his radio show every day, or you don't know shit. So Mike Johnson just says it like this. He goes, I have no way to prove this is correct. Boom. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Right? And you can't cop out and say, I'm just a reporter. So Dave, Sean Sapp, none of these guys can cop out by going, I'm just a reporter. Because all reporters are journalists. You can just Google the definition, right? All journalists aren't reporters. You mean to say you're just a journalist, right? And you just do op-ed shit. That's what you mean to say. But Johnson's a real journalist. So he goes, I have no way to prove that is correct, but the story has made the rounds this past week among numerous people we've spoken with, whether there's something to it or just assumptions. I can't verify at this juncture. I guess we will see if and when WWE leans back into supernatural and dark characters again. So isn't Danhausen like, he's like a fake vampire guy from a cartoon? Isn't that kind of like in the same realm? Maybe it isn't. Isn't Damian Priest like a gothic Batman mixed with Punisher dude from the Bronx? He just does the rock away and lean back. BX. BX what? Right? But he's like Batman kinda. So shout out Mike Johnson, though. That could be a thing, but I don't believe that. I just think they're looking at the money, looking what people are drawing, and looking at how they plan to use them. Because again, we've asked this question innumerable times here at PWT. What the fuck do you do with the Wyatt Six after this? Who do they even feud with? What do you do? Do you split them up and then they all go on their own missions? No, they all just work together. So unless you're going to have Bo go after the world title, it can't be like for the US title. It's got to be the world title. And they just start destroying, haunting, stalking like the Fiend, destroying fucking people, and then Bo gets the title, or he barely doesn't get the title, and then he fights Demon Finn Balor, and Demon Finn like sucks their evil energy away. Or you do an angle where Bo Dallas like starts taking Finn over, and Finn's like trying to stay good, but it's like he's like battling with the demon, and the fucking lantern brings the demon side, and you want to go down that route and stuff. What do you do with them? You know, there's just nothing really that cool. There's no other faction to fight. You know, you have to incorporate like, oh, they go after all the gold in the company. Like Nikki Cross wants the women's belt, the tag belts, the US belt, the fucking world belt, and you drape them all in gold because they're doing the broken universe. We need all the gold to to fucking fuel the lantern or whatever the fuck. Like you have to come up with you either got to dive in or you got to fucking back off and go more like they're just going to seriously compete in the tag division and shit. And they might take an L here and there. And, which direction do you take it? Do you send them to AAA? Maybe, because it's kind of outlandish and crazy there. But it's also very serious and sports-based. I would say this AAA Lucha Libre stuff is very WWE and sports entertainment. But when you see brawls between the Americanos and shit, you're like, oh, fuck. And the way they treat and appreciate smaller superstars and present them in a way like, yes, everyone's doing flips, but let's face it, like Omos, they present him as like a giant among a bunch of fucking little luchas and shit. So maybe you could stick them down there, but like the Viking Raiders are down there. They fit in down there. But again, like, is that compelling? They did a little bit of that, but are they going to receive that well overall? And then with what you're paying the main roster money to go to AAA, does that make sense? So I don't know if it's because of spooky characters, but another fucking rumor was that, and this comes from the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Brian. And so I'm assuming Brian Alvarez said this one. I think he did. I think he was the one talking about it. So we'll give it a try. And he goes, well, many of he goes, well, Dave, well, many of WWE's main roster cuts were age related, as I can't even do it today, as the company is trying to get a younger roster. So they want a younger roster, I guess. This is bullshit. They just called up Ethan Page and Joe Hendry and Powerhouse Hobbs. These guys are all in their 40s and 36 and 37 and shit. 36, 37. But like, for real, it's not that. It's just getting rid of people who cost a lot of fucking money. And we have to give props here, because speaking of people who cost a lot of money, the New Day. It's a new day. Yes, it is. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods have mutually decided to part ways with WWF,
Wrestling
guys.
for dirtbags and lily pickers.
It is a sad time. It is definitely a sad time. However, first off, I have to give credit to fucking Hughes.
Allegedly.
Friend of the show, who DM'd me right away and was like, I told you New Day could go. And he said that for fucking ever. He said it on this show. He said it on pods I've done with him. And I wouldn't be shocked if New Day go. And it's like, dude, New Day? Fuck that, man. They're just like, there's no way. They're involved in the video games. They're involved in the storylines. The fucking whole GM mode has been based around Tyler Breeze and Xavier Woods for how long? Like, I just don't know about that. I just never thought that would be the case. But yeah, they're gone. And again, man, their fucking heel run was just mishandled. Ultimately, like, I wish we saw the Boo Day have a serious heel run. And they could do the stuff they're doing, but they don't need to be stuck with Grayson Waller. The payoff is they end up giving a hug to fucking Big E. Imagine a match where it's like Kofi versus Xavier, and then Big E's like the special ref or the timekeeper or something, or he gets involved somehow, and then they all end up hugging, and that's how you fucking, there's stories you could tell, like, they're over enough, but they pay them so much, and it's like, are the New Day right now in 2026 changing the ratings of Raw when they're on the show, and they're getting paid 7 figures healthy? I doubt it. And then they're not baby faces, so they're not selling a bunch of merch probably and shit. So from a business side of things, as a fan, their tag division's depleted on both sides. They just don't care about it. They just rather do kind of like these random tag teams of like 2 singles guys or whatever. They should just merge the tag titles and have them be like the women's tag titles. They just go across both shows. Because honestly, I just don't think they are booking the tag division well. And we could have definitely got more out of the Boo Day. Now, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, here's the thing, though. They've done, like, am I going to be crying that they're not on every show? No, because recently they're just like in the commercials and shit. Like, they haven't really been doing much. They did have the tag titles, but again, they were kind of transitional champs there. It almost felt like. Now, could the show be better and do better ratings if New Day were booked better, if Boo Day had like better storylines that led to maybe like Xavier and Kofi questioning each other and then doing a singles match against each other at like a SummerSlam or a WrestleMania, and then, like I said, Big E gets involved, and not to take a bump, but maybe he could ref, maybe he could fucking just do a run-in and be like, guys, stop, whatever the fuck, and then, Trouble in Paradise out of nowhere, Kofi stays heel, Xavier's like, what the fuck? Maybe they all just break down and do like a 3-way hug and we're better together, and then they're just like a nostalgia act or whatever. Yeah, I think you could have milked more out of that and gotten more out of this stuff. So do I really put it on, like, it's on Kofi and Xavier that they're not like drawing 1 million extra viewers every week on Netflix and shit? No, it's not all on their back. And they've accomplished everything there is to accomplish. Arguably, those 3, the greatest trio tag team of all time, arguably. They'll be just fine. These guys will be just fine wherever they go. But again, I don't think it's an age thing. They're in some of the best shape of their lives. And they could just show up anywhere. Like, if I'm them, yeah, I would go take Tony Khan's money. And honestly, yeah, I want to see the New Day Here's the thing, though. Everybody like the New Day versus these guys, the New Day versus these guys. Here's the problem, man. Big E was like a big part of New Day being fucking super dope, even in like a tag situation. Like, to me, when Big E was tagging with either Xavier or Kofi, those were some of the better matches. Like when mostly Kofi, like when Xavier was on the outside. However, like Kofi and Xavier teaming together are dope. But just in my mind, to me, I always like Big E, the combo of Big E and Kofi with fucking Xavier on the outside, like tricking up and tripping up and playing the trombone like the other teams and stuff like that, you know. And even when they were good guys, to me, it was always Big E, Kofi. But still, this version of them is better for like if you want to go to AEW. And I say do it. Just take Tone's money. You're not going to work that often. Just don't sign like mega long. Just go get his bucks for like 2 years. Sign like a 2-year deal with a 3-year option. And then just take the money, work part-time, and do a match with the Bucks. I'd like to see it. You know, there was one period in time in the 2010s where people wanted to see that. I'd watch them versus like Edge and Christian, like actually have a good fucking tag match, a fucking real pro wrestling match in AEW for their tag titles. Edge and Christian versus fucking New Day. I'd watch that, dude. I'd watch if they brought them all back to WWE. I'd go, fuck yeah, that actually rules. So I'd fucking do it. That'd be the place to go. Tone will pay them probably more than WWE was paying them, and they can do less, but like have more meaningful matches as far as the physical. Because what do they want again too? Is Xavier just like, fuck it? We could if I'm gonna get paid to just do what I'm doing and not flesh this thing out the way that I see it being fleshed out, then I could do that in AEW anyways and just do whatever I want. So why not just do that? Or maybe he goes and works with TNA some more. Austin Creed, you know, he talks about TNA very fondly. Kofi Kingston, I don't see them splitting up. I see them wherever they show up, it'll be together. Love will keep us together. They are just going to pretty much blatantly knock off New Day or continue what they are doing in wherever they go. I don't see it being TNA. And here's the thing. I put in the title here, they quit because, again, I may have misspoke earlier in my little preamble there that they were released or they were fired or whatever the fuck, they were cut. The thing is, they chose not to resign also. So they know what they're worth. They know their value. And it's because guys like this aren't getting that big of increases to fucking stick around. And if anything, they might be getting offered less money because they're just not being used that much. And so whatever they offered New Day, that's an indicator that they don't really plan on like really doing anything to heat up the tag division anyways. Because if you're going to really heat it up, you need the fucking New Day on the Raw side at least. Like, who's over there? Even the Viking Raiders are in like AAA now. They're not even on Raw anymore. So you kind of need these guys, I think. And they got rid of the Machine Guns, who were kind of supposed to be gatekeepers, seemingly on the SmackDown side. And so, yeah, New Day just deciding not to renew, and they've accomplished everything there is to accomplish. Now it's time to go accomplish other shit, spend some time with your family, maybe do some shit with the Bucks, maybe do some shit with FTR, maybe do some shit with Cope and Cage, and then just dip out, you know, sign a 1-year thing. Maybe Tone would be down with that. I don't know if he would be down with that. But the New Day will absolutely be missed in WWE. But again, it's like a R-Truth thing. You know, with R-Truth, everybody's like, leave R-Truth alone, leave Brittany alone. And then look, Brittany's crazy. Turns out her family was just trying to protect her, I think. Same with R-Truth. He should have just went out losing to Cena. Like, we just got him paid a bunch, and now a bunch of these people are fired, and he's going to be or quit. And Truth is just going to be doing ESPN Unlimited fucking ads from now on, right? It's not like he's going to be some fucking guy in WWE anytime soon as far as like some monster push or anything. So, again, the New Day, I do think their time has come and gone as well as far as being like the tippy top, the tippy top tag team. But they are like a gatekeeper tag team. And they didn't, I guess that they see greener pastures or just go home for a bit. Maybe they'll be back one day. Who knows? They'll definitely get Hall of Fame inductions. They're not going to go hate on WWE and shit. But again, Tone might not be on TV. So if it's about being a TV star, maybe that's not the move. There's really no place else to go, though. And who knows if they even want to stick together. They might want to fucking... They might want to split up. Just something to think about. So we move along here. And Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods reportedly decided to leave WWE based on TKO's new offer for them. And Brian Alvarez says, we can also confirm that in the case of the New Day, it was their decision to leave based on what TKO was offering for a new deal. But to be specific, New Day's deals were not up. They were asked to restructure to TKO deals. They didn't like the deals TKO was offering. It's not TKO firing people. It's Triple H who makes the call. Yeah, so Triple H is TKO, dumb fuck. So
stupid idiot.
So it's TKO making the call, dummy. To be specific, New Day's deals were not up. They were asked to restructure to TKO deals. They didn't like the deals, so they were then granted their release. And man, if you see some of these Zuffa boxing deals and shit, they're fucking cooked. They're cooked, man. And especially with likenesses, guys, which WWE's always been on top of that. But TKO's getting in like the owning everything's IP ever. And they're going to create their own everythings and own the IP of everything's. Okay. That's the mission. So, and that will make sense in 10 years. You'll be like, oh, that Phil Marks guy was sure right about that. They own fucking everything, dude. So we move along though. For me, again, a trombone flop or a bell ring. I actually give this one a bell ring. I'm going to ring the bell for WWE, the New Day, because they said, you know what? We're good. And I'm curious what happens to Up, Up, Down, Down. And I wonder if WWE still works with him on the video game side the way they work with Tyler Breeze and shit. What happens to Up, Up, Down, Down? Does he own that? He could just start his own new shit and it would pop off. But yeah, they might just want time with their families and they've accomplished everything. They've made all the money. They're rich. They don't got to be like under some fucking weird new deal where they're like, well, what the fuck? Is everybody getting this? No, just us. So we're employees, then you better fucking give me dental, because what? Then you better pay for all my shit and fucking cover all my health insurance and everything, because all my health coverage, because what the fuck is this? You know, it's crazy how they're like still quote unquote independent contractors too. That's like nutty shit. So it might be better to just get out of that. They'll go make a bunch of money elsewhere. I'm not devastated by it though. Like, is it a W for WWE? Yeah, I'm sure on the money side it is. Is it a W for their shows? Maybe not so much. Like they could have done more with what they had. Is it a W for them in their careers? Yeah, right now, shake it up, man. I just think it's the time. Like, if WWE is going to fuck themselves, they're going to fuck themselves, man. Just go and the problem is you're only going to see like 3 of those dream matches with New Day, and then they're going to like put fucking Top Flight over or something. And then, you're not going to see everybody's like, oh man, they're going to tear it up. It just won't happen. There'll be like more ex-WWE part-time guys in WWE, in AEW, pardon me. That's all it is. And who knows if Tone's even willing to spend the money right now, because he's not getting a fucking TV deal. He thinks he's getting a YouTube deal, according to Nick LoPiccolo. So, this guy melts down a little bit, Elite Rockers, and he goes, there's no such thing as a WWE lifer anymore. And it's like, what the fuck does that even mean? And look at this, 22K hearts. This is how you know. I was just putting over how intelligent wrestling fans are, but this is how you know how redacted the IWC, like the Twitter. Right? This is proof of that, because it's like, wait a minute, what does that even mean? Right? Because wrestling always was at its biggest when people went other places and it was like, oh shit, Lex Luger's in WCW, and fucking you used to go around to different territories and different countries or whatever, and oh, I figured out a new gimmick and a new hold, King. And then you come back and you're like fucking Hulk Hogan all of a sudden, right? And you're selling out MSG and shit. Like, that's wrestling sort of like predicated on that. The WWE lifer. Well, is being a WWE lifer, was that ever a good thing? Was that ever really a good thing? I thought it was hashtag free Ali and all this shit before. Like, is that really a good thing overall? Everyone needs to be a WWE lifer. I just don't know about that. Like, really think about Ron Killings. So the examples you're putting on screen here too, it's like R-Truth was a TNA guy, bro. R-Truth has spent way more time in WWE, but he was in WWF, then he went to TNA, really established himself, then he came back to WWE. So that's not a WWE lifer anyways. So, I mean, the New Day, sure, I guess. But if Kofi never goes to AEW, then is that not a WWE lifer? He spent his whole fucking career there. Dolph Ziggler's went to TNA. Why is that a bad thing? Is it a bad thing not to be a WWE for lifer? Who do you think of that's a WWE lifer? Is Roman Reigns? There's no WWE lifers anymore, so Roman Reigns isn't a WWE lifer. Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, those aren't WWE lifers. What about Kane? I don't think went anywhere. What about fucking Undertaker? And even he started in WCW, but Undertaker, that gimmick in WWE, that's a WWE for life. Like Hulk Hogan, the biggest stars weren't WWE lifers. Steve Austin was already over and fucking, he wasn't over like Stone Cold over, but he was over like Hollywood Blonde, Stunning Steve, Superstar Steve, or whatever the fuck. People knew who he was. He was in ECW, he's in WCW, he bounced around a little bit. He went to Japan, he wrestled notable people out there. When he came into WWE, they stuck him with Ted DiBiase. It wasn't the best, but it's because he was a fucking guy that they saw, like everybody saw shit in Steve Austin. Like, so was he a WWE for lifer? He might have spent more time. How long was he wrestling? He did. Stone Cold's like the Michael Jordan. He like did more than everyone in like a less amount of time than everyone. You know what I'm saying? That's why Jordan's always the GOAT. It doesn't matter what anyone says, because all the records he fucking set and all the cool shit he did it in way less time than like LeBron. He won more chips than LeBron in like way less window of fucking time. Stone Cold did that. He just stunned on everybody for like 6 years, then got the fuck out, right? Then got out or whatever when he was like in his peak. But either way, though, it's like, I just don't, that first, it's like a WWE lifer. There aren't those anymore, man. So the Miz isn't a WWE lifer. There's a bunch of them, bro. What are you even talking about? So this guy goes, they released Dolph Ziggler. Okay. Dolph Ziggler also said he was going to leave the company 100 times, but they kept giving him like $1 million and then $1 million and then fucking R-Truth last year, but it backfired. How did it backfire? It didn't backfire. Their ratings, everything was up. Everything was doing good. Their attendances, everything. Fucking sickos in the IWC cried about it, and then it backfired because they rehired him. They just spent a bunch of money on the dude that they don't even really plan on using. Okay? So, like, how did that really backfire? It backfired on fans, because it's not like it's not like R-Truth is serious. Well, he's a tag champ right now, Phil. Yeah, dude, he's a tag champ in short matches in the non-existent tag division in a thrown together Damian Priest thing, because they're both 50, and both those guys, if they make it past this next WrestleMania, I'll be fucking shocked. Okay? At this rate. So he goes, these are the kind of wrestlers you'd expect to retire in WWE. So Truth didn't get rehired and isn't going to retire in WWE. Dolph Ziggler isn't going to retire in WWE. Are you sure that he doesn't just end his career in WWE? Are you sure about that? You think he's going to end it in TNA? I wonder. I wonder
Are you sure about that?
Nick Nemeth back. They've never done that. Are you sure that the New Day also, when all's said and done, are you saying these guys are tapped out? That's what's crazy. So I just don't get why this tweet gets, and then this person goes, WWE has never felt more soulless than it does right now. What? I don't know, man. The crowd goes pretty crazy for Danhausen. The crowd goes pretty crazy for Roman Reigns. They chant OTC every show. The crowd goes pretty crazy for Jacob. Okay, there's a lot of shit that's over right now still. Yes, it was definitely an Adamania. It definitely, they need to adjust the WrestleMania formatting. It's the same thing. Hey, guess what, guys? The exact same thing in UFC on Paramount. They get ads and they miss the walkouts of fighters, and people are like, what the fuck? And they're mad about the same thing. We're missing entrances for ads and shit. They need to fix that. We have to be able to criticize TKO. Okay? As a fan, like, that's just where it's like, yeah, I want to see at Mania, I want to see everyone's entrance. If on SmackDown you skip a fucking entrance, I don't care. That's like expected. That's like a television show back in the day. It would fucking cut to commercial, and you'd have to see if the fucking monster ate the Scooby Gang when you got back from commercial, right? You guys know what I'm saying? That's fine. Or they're just all of a sudden in their van, and it's like, Jinkies, I'm glad we got away from that one, Scoob. And he's like, right? Zoinksio. But Soulless, I don't know about Soulless. It just feels like the fucking Super Bowl, which maybe that's soulless. Some people would even say the Super Bowl's demonic and shit. I don't. So I don't know, man. I think when like Oba's getting chants and you see a moment like Brock Lesnar's retirement there, that was crazy, right? And the Hall of Fame is always. I mean, just their formatting on that is terrible because they keep trying to do it. They just need a better schedule. They need to lay the shit out. Logistics need to matter a little bit more. They need to figure out the legacy wing stuff. Again, it's all new, so TKO's trying to figure that shit out. But I don't know about Soulless, but it definitely is like TKO's fucking shit up, man. They are in ways for fans, definitely. And I always put them over. I was always like, well, they're spending the money on all the guys I like to see, and they're keeping guys around, and they're pulling an AEW a little bit, but they're hiring everybody. They got all these legends under deals, and they got all the fucking Nuge guys I want. I always love the GODs. I think Jeff Cobb rules and shit. They're bringing Evil in. That was always my defense, but no, they're cutting fucking everybody, right? So you mean to tell me you got the GODs, the Usos, the New Day, and the Lucha Brothers in a fucking tag division, and we can't, and Motor City were just there, and we can't, and you got Los Garzas or whoever's going to be like the underling team, and we can't get shit cooking in the tag division just across the board? We can't get shit cooking to where it's like serious, like the tag, you might have to do a tag only PLE because it's fucking the tag team main events because it's such a fucking draw. Come on, man. There's the possibilities there, dude. On main event, it's just one-on-ones too to get guys ready for one-on-ones. There's no like fucking 2v2. Our tag division's hot right now. And I called it out. A lot of people want to cope too in my comments. Oh, Phil, the fucking tag division, they're competing in the US division because they need bodies. Motherfucker, we saw this coming a mile away. They really don't. People say Triple H cares about tag wrestling and shit, and I don't think that's the case. Or TKO doesn't, maybe, as much, which kind of stinks. But speaking of tag wrestlers in the GODs, Tonga Loa has departed WWE. I heard someone hit me up and was like, he's really fucking mad because his brothers both have jobs, and he's sitting there like, what the fuck? Again, I'm not a dirt sheet. That could all just be fake.
Wrestling's not fake!
We're in a simulation, but he's been injured a bunch. They weren't using him when they first brought him in a bunch. And then they start using him, and he's kind of, people were laughing at his fuck-ups and things like this. I'm just disappointed that this is it. I wanted to see GODs versus Usos at WrestleMania one time. Like, that's a tag match that just based off the family shit could have been built to, you don't even need the titles or anything like that. You just do this You just do this match, and again, meaningful in the tag division, gives people in factions shit to do, so it's not only faction warfare and stuff like that. But he's gone, and now it's Tala and Tama who are together. Tama, see, they wanted to bring him in way before just him to feud with like Roman and shit. So the way they view Jacob and possibly Tala, like they spent all that time before they brought him in. It's crazy that, yeah, Tala, like, I mean, I think the only reason he survived is because they waited so long to, like, actually debut him. That's so much time invested. Like, maybe they're just like, okay, he's a big, huge, giant body. We can if we can get him. And they were really pushing him on commentary on SmackDown. They were doing a good job of, like, really getting him over and whatnot, at least to the people at home. But Tama, like, they're gonna push him too, like a Jacob. Now it's fucked because Solo's sitting there like, holy shit, right? Like, what do they do with Solo, man? He went from main eventing every Raw and SmackDown for like a year. He's not even on Mania 2 years in a row. He's the leader of this group that fucking everybody's just either getting released or goes past him. He's probably sweating right now, but he is the Usos' brother, so I think he'll be all good. But JC Mateo, like, I could see them cutting him, but then fucking Tonga Loa's like, bro, that's kind of cooked. Because JC Mateo, like, he's not really in the bloodline, you know? And you could have just, like, sent Jeff Cobb to Raw and, like, gave him a run, see what he could do. But I will say this, and again, JC Mateo, Jeff Cobb has departed WWE. And again, guys, they're bringing, like, Paige back, but then getting rid of, like, Jeff Cobb. And he didn't even last 1 year, dude. He was 1 week shy of a year.
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom.
Now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to do a trombone flop for the release of Tonga. But I'm going to ring the bell for JC Mateo. And I'll tell you why. JC Mateo feels like he's been washed since he's been in WWE. And again, he can still go and shit, but he just looks like he's getting like a beer gut and shit. And I'm not saying that that's what it is. I mean, he's like in his 40s. I'm sure his back from like and his neck from all the fucking wrestling he's done, like shoot and fucking in Nuge and in WWE. Like, just he doesn't move around that good. And Jeff Cobb at his peak, like, he can still hit the moonsaults and shit. But he's like landing on people with that big burly chest and that belly. And it's not like guys like that couldn't fuck you up. Like, he'll fuck up 90% of fucking Jeff Cobb will for real, like, beat up the fucking locker room, you know? What I'm saying is that, like, he just doesn't look like he did when he was in Japan. Even we're talking like when he just left Japan. And here's the thing. I wasn't watching like every fucking Nude show, but there was a bit of drama when Jeff Cobb was leaving Nuge, and some of that drama was like surrounded around him not kind of giving a fuck about about like the rest of his team. And TJP was saying this stuff on Reddit. TJP's in fucking AAA. They're working with him, and I guess the sentiment was like JC kind of knew he was going to fucking WWE type thing, and he wasn't big dogging people, but it was just like. And then some people said TJP's just messy and like people were on Jeff Cobb's side and stuff, and that whatever. I'm just putting this out there, right? And I'm not saying it's drama related, but there was sentiment. Some people were like, who were on TJP's side were saying shit like, you know, he fucking JC kind of was phoning it in there too. And I'm not saying he's phoning it in. I don't want to hate on the guy, but am I wrong? Like, did he just not look like a step slower and like he kind of just. He getting a little chunky monkey there, and he's fucking. I don't know. I just don't know if WWE was the right fit. It wasn't. I always felt like he should have been in the Vision. He should have been in that Seth Rollins faction. I still maintain that. I think you could have went further with it. And I get it. He's in Japan. He's worked with those guys. He can travel with those guys. He knows the GODs. He's worked them. He fucking blah, blah, blah. But we didn't, it was just like they're cousins, and we don't get a backstory on like who JC is related to the family. Like, that's what made the bloodline shit hot. People were popping for when The Rock put the whole bloodline on the fucking screen, and then they were cutting to images. Look, here's this person on the bloodline. Here's this person. Here's how it connects our family. This business is our family. Okay, explain how the Tongans and Haku and them get Rikishi in this bitch. Get Rikishi and Haku in this bitch. They're still alive. They're out there talking. Hall of Fame. Rikishi's talking on his podcast every fucking 3 minutes. He's got something to say about WWE.
Let's talk about it.
Get them out there involved to explain the history, and like Haku and Rikishi have a disagreement and their sons have a disagreement, and JC, you're not even fucking Tongan. You ain't even Samoa. You're connected through the old Fed in Hawaii that our ancestors had. And your family, we took you in. You're a mutt. You're a dog. You know, like some shit like that where someone, and then he's kind of looking at the Tongans like, what the fuck? That's how you view me? And you kind of let everybody know, you lean into like he ain't even really one of us. Someone says some shit like that. Ooh, like that's the stuff that would get people invested. They just like, nah, they're going to fight the White Six. And he just is a fucking Tongan or maybe a Samoan or maybe he's Filipino, guys. We don't know. He's just, he's just here and he fights and he's a badass, you know, and he's from Guam. He represented Guam in the Olympics and whatnot. So it's just, but he does have like family, like he's like related to them through Hawaii. That's the story that we're meant to believe. His connections in Hawaii and shit. And his family, that he's of Hawaiian descent as well or something like that, right? So, yeah, so shout out JC Mateo. I'm going to give this one a fucking bell ring if I didn't already. Because they fucked it up from the get-go, and then he just didn't really look like he was... Like, let's face it, Tama Tonga, I think, exceeded expectations. So did Jacob Fatu in many ways. A lot of people knew like he'd be the guy, but I don't think people knew that he'd be like the guy the way he is with Roman. His body's looking good. It's like really, he's super over, like super, super over, man. The fucking crowds know his catchphrases and everything. And they caught on so quickly, and he's just so real, and he brings an air of danger. Like he's just so refreshing in the WWE. And, you know, he's really the guy. Like he bypassed a bunch of the build-up people I think thought was going to be there with Jacob. So JC, he never got the correct opportunity, but I just don't know if he was a good fit. He maybe just would have been a better fit in AEW, fighting the Death Riders, with doing coffin matches with Darby or whatever. I don't fucking know. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the releases / leaving the company news for WWE. Yeah. Where's my... And let me know what you guys think down below or off to the sides in the comments in the chat. Do you guys think it's sad that New Day is gone? And do you guys think that JC Mateo's washed? Do you guys think Tonga Loa could have done more with the GODs, or should they just focus on Tama and Tala? Let me know. Guys, round of applause. We went 3.5. I didn't even think we'd go that long today, but we did it. Guys, PWT member Monday. Become a member. It's only 99 cents. I fucking love you all. Thank you all for the massive support, the huge turnout, like 300 watching. Check me out on Kick, patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you on Monday for Member Monday. Okay, I do bonus shows every Monday. I got some pods, I got some Patreon shit dropping for you guys, and I appreciate you so much. And stay on the lookout for my videos that are just like videos about shit. I got a cool one about Kenny Omega coming too, and yeah, I'm gonna drop this Anna J, Sean Ross Sapp one tomorrow. And I appreciate you guys so much. What else? That's it. Just check out Patreon and just stay locked in on the YouTube channel. And we're almost at 8,000 subs, guys. Like, round of a fucking applause, man. Almost at 8,000 subs. Shit's going crazy. Live show replay views are going crazy. The fucking clip views, or I guess the videos I'm making views are going crazy. I just appreciate you all. I got some fun guests. Alfred Kunawa hit me up. He's going to come on the show. soon. And yeah, good fun times here at PWT. Luis Gomez Jr. Is a new subscriber. So there you go. New Day Sad. Everybody hit like, hit subscribe. Appreciate you all. I will see you next time. Be good to yourselves and each other. Go outside, guys. It's beautiful out. Get outside, get in the yards, get on the decks, get on the balconies, the porches, wherever the fuck you live, man. Get outside, drink lots of water, enjoy your summer, and thank you for tapping in with PWT. I appreciate you all so much. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I'll see you for Member Monday. And if you're not a member, consider being one or gifting a membership. That's always nice because I do bonus shows every Monday. But tune in Wednesday. We'll be back. Same Phil time, same Phil place, same Phil channel. See you guys.
Every booking is golden, you see. Perfect cards crafted for you and me. Yeah, the best guys, Tony Khan, it's true. Triple cup, best damn booker in the land. 3 red cups stacked up, always in command. Triple cup, living legend of the fight. Just a call away from making it right. Never see him back hard, no way. Got the whole roster locked in for the day. The Crimson Tower, modern art. Triple cup. Every booking is golden, you see. Perfect cards crafted for you and me. Yeah, the best guys, Tony Khan, it's true. Triple cup, best damn booker in the land. 3 red cups stacked up, always in command. Triple cup, living legend of the